is over. Welcome to Salem Lions High School football. It's game time on WSLM 97.9 FM. The pregame show on WSLM 97.9 FM is brought to you by the following sponsors:
John Jones Auto Group, McDonald's of Salem, Salem Crossing, Meadowview Healthcare, Washington County Tire, Schneck Hospital.
Also, thank you to Papa John's of Salem, Vital Farms, Jason Petmeyer Insurance, Rodney Breff Insurance, Temple & Temple.
And we are back, week 3 of IHSAA football action, and tonight we've got the Salem Lions hosting the Scottsburg Warriors at Paul A. Graves Athletic Stadium here on Jim Ralston Field. And Zach, we had a good one last week. We're looking for another good one this week.
Yep, last week kind of started an exciting week to me. You know, we beat Silver Creek there on Friday, and then we had college football on Saturday. Yesterday we had NFL football. You had middle school games. It's the start of football season.
Absolutely. Pretty much got football from Thursday to Sunday from here on out. We've got football every Sunday from now until February. But we are excited tonight for this matchup. It's a great Warriors team that we're playing tonight, but Salem got a big win last week against the conference opponent of Silver Creek, and they look tonight to get another conference win against probably the number 2 team in the conference right now.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they are the number 2 in the MSC, and that is the Scottsburg Warriors. Battle of Highway 56, I think is what they call it.
Yeah, something like that. You know, 56 runs right into Scottsburg, and not directly past Salem High School, but
close enough.
Pretty close, yeah, just one road over there. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about Scottsburg tonight, Zach.
Yeah, they are coached by Kyle Mullins, and he is 41-58 in his 11th season. And I believe Scottsburg's the only school that he's coached at.
He's also been the only coach Scottsburg's ever had.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's going to make us sound old, but I remember when Scottsburg started the program.
7th grade was our first year that they had a program. I remember we played them in 8th grade for the first time. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that our 8th grade football team, the one we were on, might have been the first football team to ever play a Scottsburg team, because we played them on Thursday and the high school played them on Friday.
You know, now that you say that, I think you're right, Brandon.
I believe so.
Anyways, to continue with that, last week Scottsburg won 21-14 against the North Harrison Cougars. You know, that's a hard-fought game by both teams.
And, you know, we'll talk about a little bit about this more as we get onto our pregame show. But that 21-14 score, don't pay attention to that. That's not reminiscent of what Scottsburg brings to the table. I think North Harrison's offense running real slow, draining clock, probably played a big part in that.
Yeah, and that'll get into some key points we have later on. But reflecting on the 24 season for the Warriors, they went 7-4. They averaged 35.1 points per game while only allowing 14.1. The first round of sectionals, they beat Owen Valley 76-9, but then in the second round, they got defeated by kind of their Achilles heel last season, the Madison Cubs 13-10. And then if you want to go back to Salem playing the Warriors last year, it was a tough 54-7 loss on the road, and we have sadly been beaten by the Warriors the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and one thing I've got written there that I added into once I was doing my part of the radio thing is the players remember that loss. I went into the locker room a few times this week, you know, being in the gym and stuff, and that 54-7 is written in the biggest possible numbers right in the middle of their whiteboard, right there in the locker room. So the players remember that loss, and they're looking to avenge that tonight.
Yeah, Scottsburg may have a relatively young football team, but there is no love between Salem and Scottsburg.
Yeah, and one thing you mentioned, you know, Madison was kind of Scottsburg's Achilles heel last year, and that is true. They beat them the first game of the year. Scottsburg obviously turned around after that. They ended up losing to Brownstown, and was the other one North Harrison?
I think so.
And then they lost to Madison again in sectional. Again, low-scoring game. I think both of them were very low-scoring last year.
Yeah, they lost to Madison in the sectional game 13-10.
Yeah, and then so one thing that Scottsburg did this year, they turned that around, and I believe they beat Madison week 1 40-7 or something like that. And you know that those Scottsburg kids wanted that win big time after that's who beat them last year in the state tournament.
Yes, and I think, I don't know this for a fact, but I believe Madison and Scottsburg is a rivalry game of some sort.
So go ahead and just a little bit about the Scottsburg players we should be looking out for tonight.
Yeah, you'll hear several times number 11, senior quarterback Nathan, would you say
Bird? Nathan Bird.
Last week he went 9 for 20, 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. And a note to know on him is he was the number 6. He is the number 6 3A quarterback in passing yards this season already with 343.
Another little bit I want to bring up about him is he's a 6 foot, 180-pound senior this year. What's unreal about this is he coming into this season, so he had only played for 2 years, I believe. Maybe he played as a freshman, I'm not sure. But he had 5,025 career passing yards coming into this year. He put up 2,182 yards last year, 33 touchdowns, and he only threw 13 interceptions. And that was him as a junior. He comes also into this year with 67 passing touchdowns. I don't exactly know how many interceptions he's thrown, but I guarantee it's a lot less than 67. And what's really impressive there is you hear that 5,000 career yards number. I hold the record at Salem for 3,851 yards. So he's got me by 2,000 yards
as a senior.
Yeah, as now a senior, and that shows. I'm assuming he probably holds the record over there. There's no way he does.
I would have to think.
Yeah, and that's going to be a record I think that stands over there for a while. I would have to say we've seen every Scottsburg team that's ever came through Scottsburg, and I would say that this kid is probably the best quarterback they've ever had.
Yeah, and part of what goes off of that is it's a 1-2 punch with Scottsburg. You have him at quarterback, and then you have senior running back number 5, Landon Shuck, who last week had 25 carries for 141 yards. His longest run last week was 32 yards, and he's ranked number 6 in 3A for average punt return yardage, which is kind of a weird stat, but it's something you have to factor in with being 23 yards per return.
Yeah, that's something you probably don't want to punt to. You just want to kind of maybe punt that out of bounds away from him, keep that away from him because, that 23 is an average, not 23 every return. That means he's probably had some 2 or 3 yard returns. That probably also includes the fair catch returns, but that also includes probably the 60 yard returns.
Yeah, the 60 yard house calls.
To add on to Shuck, they're talking about last year as a junior. He had 1,609 yards last year as a junior. He also had 7 touchdowns. Again, he was the 1-2 punch last year for Scottsburg. But he also was a 3A junior All-State nomination for Scottsburg last year. One thing that sticks out to me about Shuck is his dad graduated from Salem, played with Coach Humphrey, one of the middle school coaches.
Really?
Yep. So he's familiar, obviously, with the community, with the program. But unfortunately, we didn't get Landon.
Yeah, and your dad, or his father being from Salem, this game's got to be extra special to Landon.
Absolutely. He even mows some yards in Salem, I believe.
Really?
Landon, I think, does some mowing on the side, and I think he mows some yards in Salem.
The more you know.
I'm telling you.
And then the third player I have for the Warriors is number 9, senior linebacker and tight end, Garrett Bowling. Last week he tallied up 15 solo tackles, 4 assists to tackles, and 4 tackles for a loss. And he is currently ranked 4th in the state of Indiana for total tackles being 30.
And another thing about Mr. Bowling there is he is definitely a threat on the offense. He's a tight end, but he's 6'2", 235 pounds, and he is a big boy that can move fast. He's got great hands. Last year, offensively, he caught 12 touchdowns. So we talked about how good Shuck was. He had 7. Talk about how good Garrett Bowling is. He had 12. On the defensive side of the ball, he had 138 tackles as a junior.
Which is an incredible number.
That's a number you would expect to see out of, a senior,
Right.
You look at it, they played 11 games last year. He had almost 140 tackles. That's like 12 tackles he had roughly about 12 and a half tackles per game. And that is absolutely insane out of a kid that's not even a senior yet. Again, Garrett Bowling, another 3A junior All-State member. So Scottsburg last year had 2 juniors in their All-State nominations, and it's almost arguably you could say their best player didn't even get nominated.
Which is crazy to say.
Yeah.
So that ties all into my keys to victory this week, and it's hard for me to take this one as both teams are taking the field. It's hard for me to take the first point off. It's hard for me to take this first point off of there, and that's play fast and physical. Football is a fast and physical game, Brandon, and if you don't show up to play like that, you're going to get scored on.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's pretty much what happened last year against these guys. You know, we came out flat, and we got 50 piece.
It was, and we're going to get into this later, and it was just pass and catch.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about it a lot on the broadcast last week. Like you said, we'll talk about it here in a little bit. But go ahead there with your keys to victory.
I think arguably tonight, defense is just as important, if not more important, than how the offense plays tonight. You know, we have to shut down this Warriors offense. You know, the 1-2 punch. They have the receivers out there they can get the ball to. They have Shuck at running back. Defense has to play lights out tonight.
I would say you're correct there with the defense might be more important than the offense tonight. You know, you can put up 40 points, but so can the team across us on the field right now. And they can put them up in abundance, and they can put them up quick. So you're right, defense has got to get stops quick and fast, and they've got to get stops early in the game. You can't fall behind to a team like this.
And you have to get pressure to the quarterback. If not, it's going to be like last year where it's just pitch and catch with the receivers.
Yeah, you know, he was in the pocket for 10, 15 seconds every single play. At that point, your receiver's going to get open because you can't ask your DBs to guard somebody for 15 seconds. He's going to get open, and he's going to be wide open down the field. And that's, you know, I don't know that the kid threw a ball over 20 yards last year in this game, but Bird completed every single short pass he had, and the receivers were able to get out in open field and work.
And then the third point I have is do your job and don't worry about anyone else. And I'm specifically talking about the defense here because when you get into a passing team, when you get into the secondary, players start to worry about, well, what do I do with this guy? What do I do with that guy? And what does he do? That doesn't matter. Just worry about your man, and that's all that matters.
And I bet you're going to leave that one on there for next week again against Brownstown because that's another team that you have to do your one specific job, and you don't worry about what the other 10 players on defense are doing.
And then the fourth one, and I feel like this kind of tied into last week. We didn't have it as a point last week, but I feel like a big portion to our victory last week was how much we managed the clock in the second half and kept the ball out of Silver Creek's hands.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. You know, we did well controlling the clock, and Silver Creek got a lot of penalties, shot themselves in the foot for pretty much the entire game. But when we were on offense, we took a 7-minute, 15-second drive in the second half. We also took a 10-minute drive in the second half. You know, football, high school football has, 12-minute quarters?
Yes, sir.
So you have 24 minutes and a half, and we controlled it for 17 minutes of the second half.
It's hard for another team to score when they don't have the ball.
Absolutely. So getting into the Salem Lions here, Coach Pennington, obviously in his third game as an interim coach, he comes into this game 1-1. So far, week one, the Lions fell to the Cougars at North Harrison, 27-15, and then we got the win last week against Silver Creek, 27-20 at home. Again, a big conference win for the Lions there. I got a couple keys to victory here, and it's pretty much the same as it was last week. Pretty much the same as it was week one. Limit mistakes, so that means penalties, turnovers. We got to play fast. We got to play smart, like you said in your key to victory there. And we can't get beat up front on either side of the ball. Like you said, we can't give the quarterback time to sit there and throw in the pocket. And offensively, we've got to give our backs time for plays to develop. Therefore, we can put points on the board.
Exactly. And like you said, the plays have to develop. If they don't get to develop, then you don't have a chance.
Absolutely. A couple other notes I've got there is Scottsburg is at the peak of their program. You know,
I would agree with that.
This last year and this year, definitely the best two seasons they've ever had. And they want to win. They're not here to be like, oh, well, we were at the best, but we lost games. They're at their best, and they want to be the best. And they want to win games, and they're looking to make a conference run this year. Obviously, they got to get past Brownstown, but it doesn't matter if they get past Brownstown if they can't get past the 8 games ahead of them.
Exactly.
Another thing is we got to stay smart. You know, we saw the Scottsburg game last week get a little chippy, had some rough penalties that you don't want. And at that point, you got to keep your head, which the Lions did really well last week. They didn't get any extracurricular penalties, and that's another thing we got to carry over tonight and through the rest of the season. We got to play smart, and we got to be smart the whole game.
Yeah, I feel like Salem's been doing a better job this season of not getting those boneheaded penalties.
Yep, absolutely. So let's see here. Are they about to do the national anthem?
I believe so.
Okay. Everybody's standing, and the players are lining up the sidelines. So I would assume they're getting ready to do the national anthem here. Is that the case? What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do our national anthem.
Yep, we'll go ahead and do the national anthem, and we will be right back.
And ride on through the pale of the fire, over ramparts we walk, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rock is bright. Here at Jim Ralston Field at Paul A. Graves Athletic Stadium, and continue our pregame show. I'm going to go ahead over the impact players for Salem tonight. First one's going to be number 12, junior quarterback Ethan Campbell. Last week, Ethan went 5 for 9 passing with 39 passing yards. He did throw an interception, but on the ground he made up for it with 46 rushing yards and a touchdown. Of course, another name you're going to hear is number 4, junior running back Logan Dent. 24 carries last week for 117 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Again, Logan gets most of the workload on the offense, and we look for that to continue tonight. Next running back for us is going to be number 7, senior Kareth Moore. Last week he had 12 rushes for 52 yards and a rushing touchdown. So we had 3 rushing touchdowns out of those 3 guys. You love when you can spread it around and score touchdowns for everybody on the field. Defensively, number 3, junior cornerback Peyton Shockey. Peyton's been great the last 2 years. Peyton's played incredible last week, broke up a lot of plays. Had a pick 6 last week that really flipped the momentum of the game.
Yes.
Ended up prevailing the Lions to a 27-20 victory over the Dragons. But again, you know, Peyton's he's all over the field. He's on kickoff, he's on kickoff return, he's on offense, he's on defense. That kid's got a motor that doesn't quit running, and he runs it the entire game. Just a great kid to have on the squad.
Yeah, well, I'm watching the coin toss, Brandon. Why don't you tell us how the middle school team did last night?
I think I might just do that, Zach. So in the 7th grade game last night, we traveled over to Scottsburg for 7th and 8th grade, I guess I should say. 7th grade, we won on a last play wheel route to number 3, Reese Wilson on the 7th grade. And we hit a wheel route, and he was running down the sideline completely by himself. We defensively, though, we got to give it to them. They forced a fumble with like 20 seconds to go. We had some weird rules over at Scottsburg last night, so we did pull out that on the last play of the game, 12-6. The 8th grade had played a lot better team than the 7th grade did, and the 8th grade team, they came out flying, they came out fast. The 8th grade fell to Scottsburg 22-14. That moves our 7th grade team to 3-1 on the year, with that one loss being to Silver Creek, and our 8th grade record down to 2-2 on the year. So next Thursday night, we are back at home here on Jim Ralston Field. We will be hosting the Braves of Brownstown and looking to pick us up another win in the middle school program.
Yeah, and as I just watched the coin toss here, Scottsburg deferred to the second half, so we will see the Salem offense take over first.
Yep, and it looks like the clock has just ran out, and that means this game is getting ready to take off, and we're going to take a short commercial break, I think, and we will be, never mind, they're already on the field. We're ready to go.
Yes, sir. It's the start of a football weekend.
I'm telling you, big-time football weekend. First game in the NFL last year, Cowboys beat the Eagles 24-20.
That was an interesting game.
It was an interesting game, but I'm glad to say the Cowboys lost because I, as a Steelers fan, I can't stand the Cowboys.
I can't say anything. I'm a Colts fan.
Well, there is that, I guess. But
better luck next year.
Yep, tonight the Chiefs and the Chargers over in Brazil. That game kicks off at 8:01, so we'll try to keep you guys updated if you're listening to it. But for right now, it looks like Scottsburg's kickoff team is set to kick, and that's going to be Tucker Doriot, a senior kicker, in to kick. And back deep for the Lions, it looks like we've got number 8, Braxton Dean, and number 3, Peyton Shockey. So here comes the Warriors kickoff team. Doriot trots to the ball, and he kicks it away, and it's going to be a deep kick, and it's going to be landed and fielded at the 15-yard line by Peyton Shockey, who cuts it back out the middle, breaks the tackle, breaks another tackle, runs it across the 35. He's stiff-arming, fighting for extra yards, and he's going to be stacked up and brought down at the 38-yard line here. So the Lions are going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 38. That was a great kick return there from, we just talked about him, number 3, Peyton Shockey.
Yes, that was an excellent kick return. Way to set the tone.
Yep, absolutely. So the Lions offense to the field first here, looking to take off and put some points on the board and get an early jump here on the Warriors. Campbell breaks the huddle, comes to the line. Going to be under center with Karis Moore, the lone back in the backfield. 2 wide receivers for the Lions. Going to be Logan Dent in motion. There's a snap. It's going to be a toss right to Dent, who finds a hole to run through and gets stacked up. I don't know that they're going to give him a yard. I think that's going to be a gain of 0, so that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Lions here on their own 38.
Yeah, Brandon, I counted five Warriors who rolled off of Dent on that play.
They're going to be flying around. Like we talked about it, they want to win more than anything right now.
They are going to mark that as a gain of none.
Is that considered a gain of none?
That's what I'm counting as.
Okay. Campbell back to the line, under center. Moore in the backfield, Dent in motion. There's a snap, handoff to Moore up the middle, and he is met at the line and drove backwards. Again, there was about 6 Warriors there at the line to make the play. They are going to give him a yard, so it's going to be a 1-yard pickup there for Karis Moore. That's going to bring up 3rd and 9 for the Lions on their own 39. And one thing I look out over here, that, for the ones at home that can't see it, is this Warriors team is big.
Yes, they are. And that's one thing I've noticed, even when we played in school, is every year I've noticed the players got bigger every year.
It never changes. They are very large team. So the Lions back to the line here. 3rd and 9 on their own 39. Campbell under center. And they try to draw him off the sides, and they don't jump. There's a snap. Campbell, he swings it out to the outside, and there's going to be a pass interference. And that was a completely unnecessary pass interference there on the Warriors.
I can't believe he threw the flag on that one.
I can't either, because that ball was nowhere near him at all.
I'll take it.
But that's going to be a 1st down for the Lions on the penalty, and that's just a mistake you don't want to make there. Not that it was a great call there by the ref, but it's yards and it's 1st down.
15-yard penalty in high school, isn't it?
Yes, I guess so. So that's going to put the Lions on the Warriors side of the field now at the Warriors 46. So that's going to be a pass interference on the Warriors. That's going to give the Lions a 1st down and a new set it now.
Lenny Wynn bringing the play in.
Yep, so we talked about how big Scottsburg was up front. Right now they've got 300 pounds, 295 pounds, and 200 pounds on their front line. Campbell under center. Moore and Dent in the backfield. Campbell looks back to throw. He's looking at Dent, and he's going to be smoked by Garrett Bowling. And it's going to be a strip sack, and it's going to be picked up by the Warriors and ran into the end zone. And that's going to be number 99, Jacob June, on the fumble recovery touchdown.
Ethan Campbell laying on the field.
Yeah, Ethan's a little slow to get up, which is understandable after that hit. And I tell you what, he's trying, but he just can't get up. And that was, we talked about him before the game. That was number 9, Garrett Bowling, and he came through the line like he was shot out of a cannon and just lit Ethan up. And that's going to be a turnover and a touchdown for the Warriors. So that's going to put them up 6-0 here, pending the extra point.
Ethan Campbell being helped off the field.
Yep, he is slowly getting helped off the field. He is in some pain, that's for sure. And you just hate to see that out of your quarterback on the first drive of the game.
Yes. We hate to speculate, but it looks like an ankle.
Yeah, I'm guessing he got rolled up on. He tried to get up on his own, but he just unfortunately could not do it. So Mallory is helping him over to the sideline now with Coach McCartney.
Big thank you to Mallory and all she does for Salem sports.
Oh, she's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So the Warriors now set for the PAT. There's a snap. Hold is down. Kick is up. And it is going to be good. So that's going to extend the Warriors' lead to 7-0. And we will take a short commercial break, and we will be right back.
A fan favorite is coming back to McDonald's. And this time, they'll be here to stay. Snack wraps are back, baby. Back on the menu at your local McDonald's after a long wait. Starting July 10th, the snack wrap returns to participating restaurants nationwide. And this time, they'll be here to stay. You can get them in 2 delicious flavors, spicy and ranch. Spicy snack wraps will feature a bold, zesty, and unapologetically fiery taste. The spicy snack wrap brings the heat with a habanero kick that fans know and love from the spicy McCrispy sandwich. Ranch snack wraps will be smooth, rich, and irresistibly savory. The ranch snack wrap delivers a satisfying burst of cool ranch goodness with hints of garlic and onion. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of McDonald's menu and their under $3 menu. I'll be back with more details later. In the meantime, check out snackwrapfiles.com for daily reviews. I'm loving it.
And we are back here at Jim Ralston Field at Paul A. Graves Athletic Stadium, where the Warriors have taken a 7-0 lead over the Lions here, and the Warriors kickoff team is set, and Doria is ready to kick back deep for the Lions as number 3, Peyton Shockey, and number 8, Braxton Dean. And looking over here at the sideline, it looks like it might be a knee for Ethan Campbell.
Yeah, we were sitting here trying to decipher.
Yep. And, that's definitely not something you want to see, especially with how common knee injuries are in football. And hopefully he can be all right and be back in this game. There's a kick deep for the Warriors, and it's going to go out of bounds. So that's going to be an illegal kick by the Warriors. So that's going to set the Lions up, I believe, on their own 35. Is that correct?
Yes, I think so. I think it's the 35 in high school.
I think that is right. So, but it looks like, I'm assuming, number 8, Braxton Dean, is going to be now in at quarterback for the Lions. So, again, we hope that Ethan is okay and can maybe get back into this game. But that was just a big hit from Garrett Bowling there. And there's not really much else you can say about it.
That's about all you can leave it at.
Yeah. So, Braxton brings the team to the line with Karis Moore and Logan Dent in the backfield. There's a snap. It's going to be QB sneak to Braxton Dean, who's going to try to get up the middle. Doesn't have a lot of room to run. And, again, Garrett Bowling's trying to rip the ball out. But that's going to be a 3-yard pickup there for Braxton Dean. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 now for the Lions at their own 38-yard line. And one thing I noticed, and most coaches teach it, stack them up, try to rip the ball out. And number 9, Garrett Bowling, was in there trying to rip the ball out of Braxton's hands.
Yes, the Warriors' defense is swarming to the ball.
Yep. So Dean brings the team back to the line. Dent and Moore in the backfield, 2 wide receivers for the Lions. Braxton gets his team set, and he takes the snap, and he tosses around the left side to Logan Dent, who has nowhere to go, and is met immediately at the line. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 now for the Lions after a gain of 0. 3rd and 7 now for the Lions. Ball on the Lions' 38-yard line. 9 minutes and 17 seconds to go here in the first. The Warriors lead the Lions 7-0.
After watching these first few plays here, Brandon, the Salem offensive line is going to have their hands full tonight.
Yes, and, we're down 7-0, and Scottsburg hasn't been on offense yet, so that's not a good thing.
And we have 4 total yards of offense so far.
Braxton brings the team back to the line. Moore is the lone back in the backfield. There's a snap. It's going to be a fake toss to Logan Dent, and Braxton's around the right side. He's got a receiver, and it's going to be caught by Karis Moore across the 50. He's going to keep fighting. He's going to get across the 45, and that's going to be a big play there for the Lions, and that's going to be about a, let's see here, where they marked it, about an 18-yard pickup there. You were close, Zach. 18-yard pickup there for the Lions, and a first down on a great pitch and catch there from Braxton Dean to Karis Moore out of the backfield. And, Landon Shuck defensively was trying to make a play on the ball. Just unfortunately for him, Karis was one step ahead of him. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Lions at the Warrior 44-yard line. Braxton under center with Dent and Moore in the backfield. There is the snap. He's going to toss to the left around to Karis Moore, who's met behind the line of scrimmage by a swarm of Warriors. And he's going to be drove back, but forward progression is going to only lose 2 yards. So now it's going to bring up 2nd and 12 now at the Warrior 46. And, we've talked about it, and Scottsburg is just flying to the ball immediately.
Yeah, going back to that long play, it's always a good situation when you can have a backup quarterback come in and you can still have the timing to complete passes.
Braxton's arguably one of the best athletes on the team, if not the best. And, you never want to take your best athlete and put him in one specific position, but in this situation, kind of glad we have our best athlete back there.
Yes.
So now Braxton is in gun with Logan Dent to his right, 2nd and 12. There's the snap to Braxton. He's going to fake the handoff to Dent. He's going to keep it himself, run around the right side. He's got a hole to run through. He's going to pick up about 5 yards here, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 now for the Lions here on the Warrior 41-yard line. 7:15 to go now. The Warriors lead 7-0. That was a great, 5-yard pickup on the run there for Braxton Dean.
And there's nothing wrong with, especially against a team like Scottsburg, just short 3, 4, 5-yard play after play after play and wear the defense out.
Absolutely. You get 4 yards on 3 plays, that gives you a first down.
That's the way my math checks out.
Exactly. So Braxton comes back to the line, Moore and Dent in the backfield. There's the snap. It's going to be a left toss to Braxton or Logan Dent. It's going to be a reverse to Waylon Foster, and he's going to be brought down right at the first down marker, and that's going to be a 7-yard pickup there for the Lions, and that's going to give them a first down. So that's going to be a great 7-yard pickup there for Waylon Foster on the reverse play after the toss to Logan Dent and the handoff to Waylon Foster. That's going to give the Lions a new set of downs at the Warrior 34-yard line, and the Lions offense is moving now.
Waylon Foster, he's a kid we don't really call much that gets the ball on offense, but when he gets it, he runs with authority.
He's so quick for how small he is. And
quick and shifty.
That's just great to have, as a running back. So Braxton breaks the huddle, comes back to the line with Moore the lone back in the backfield. Flex bone look for the Lions. Dent in motion. There's a snap. It's going to be handoff to Moore up the middle, and he's going to be stacked up by a linebacker, but he's going to fight forward for an extra yard. So it's going to be a 4-yard pickup there for number 7, Karis Moore. And the Lions have more positive plays in the last 3 plays than they've had the entire game. So that's going to be a 2nd and 6 now for the Lions on the Warrior 30-yard line.
When Moore got hit there by the linebacker, I could feel the hit from up here.
It was a big hit. Scottsburg's flying around and they're sticking people, and that's pretty much what caused the fumble on the first play, or on the first drive. So Braxton back under center. Moore and Dent in the backfield this time. There's a snap. It's going to be a fake handoff to Moore, handoff to Dent. He's got a hole to run through. He gets down to about the 26-yard line. So that's going to be a 4-yard pickup there for Braxton Dean. That's going to bring up a 3rd and very manageable 2 yards now for the Lions here. Again, on the Warrior 26-yard line. We've got 5:20 to go here in the first quarter. And this comes back to the control the clock situation. And the Lions have already been on this drive for about 4 minutes.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the fumble, who knows how long that drive would have been, too.
So it's going to be 3rd and 2 now for the Lions. Dean under center with Moore and Dent in the backfield. There's a snap to Dean, and it's going to be a QB power, and they're still pushing him forward. He's going to pick up about 4 yards there. Great hard run there from Braxton Dean, and that's going to bring up another first down to the 22-yard line here of the Warriors. And again, we've seen it, 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. And magically, 12 is better than 10, Zach.
That goes back to elementary math.
I'm telling you. Braxton back under center with Moore and Dent in the backfield. And there's the snap to Braxton. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to swing it around the right side to Dent, who's got some room to run. He cuts back across the middle, and he gets smoked at the 18-yard line. And that's going to be a pickup of 4 yards there for Logan Dent on the pitch and catch from Braxton Dean, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 now for the Lions.
There's a Scottsburg Warrior that's limping around on the field and just goes down.
I bet he's cramping.
He was grabbing his knee.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. So with this injury timeout, we're going to take a short commercial break, and we will be right back.
When it comes to getting the job done right, from driveways to bridge work and paving to construction and excavating, there's one name you can count on: Temple and Temple Excavating. Serving homeowners and also handling big jobs for city, county, and state highway projects, they've built a reputation on quality work since 1948. Driveways, construction, demolition. If you need it moved, cleared, built, or torn down, call Temple and Temple Excavating at 812-883-6644. Temple and Temple, digging deep and building strong communities, one project at a time. Call Temple and Temple today and get the job done right.
And we are back here at Paul A. Graves Athletic Stadium at Jim Ralston Field, where the Salem Lions offense is moving the ball on the Scottsburg Warriors defense here. The Warriors do lead 7-0. We've got 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. If you're just tuning in, Scottsburg did score on a strip sack, where unfortunately Lions quarterback Ethan Campbell has been on the sideline ever since, working on his knee. But we've got Braxton Dean under center and quarterback with Karis Moore in the backfield and Logan Dent. That's got Peyton Shockey in motion. There's a toss to the right to Peyton Shockey, who tries to spin back to the middle, and he does. And he gets stacked up by a bunch of Warriors. And Blake Peyton took some blows there from the Warriors, but he looks to be okay. That's going to be a 6-yard pickup there for Peyton Shockey, and that should give the Lions a new set of downs here on the 12-yard line. Let's see if they give it to them. Nope, they're going to call it 3rd and very short here, or are they going to bring the chains out and measure it? Nope, they're going to give him a first down, so it's going to be a 1st and 10 Lions here on the Warrior 12-yard line. And, the Lions' offense kind of looked dry and flat on the first drive, but they look tremendously better here.
I'm counting 5 defensive players for the Warriors rolling off of every
single tackle. So the Lions have 1st and 10 on the Warrior 12-yard line now. Braxton Dean under center with Moore and Dent in the backfield. There is the snap to Braxton. It's going to be tossed right to Logan Dent, who's got to hold a run through, and he's going to run through it, and he's going to be tripped up, but not before he crosses the 5-yard line.
There is a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play. I'm assuming that's probably going to get that run called back based on where the flag's at. It's right at the line of scrimmage. So I'm going to guess that's going to be a holding on the Lions, would be my first guess. Zach, go ahead and take your bet.
I probably have to agree with you on that one.
All right, this is why I'm in charge, because I got the brains. Actually, I think it was a block in the back.
It's on Salem regardless.
Yeah, it was a block in the back on the Lions now, so that's going to be 10 yards, I believe, from the spot of the foul. Yep, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so that's going to set the Lions offense back to the 22-yard line.
And that takes us back to what you said in the pregame show. You can't have costly mistakes like that.
We went from having the ball, 2nd and 1 at the 3-yard line now to 1st and 20 at the 22. So hopefully we can get those yards back. 3:16 to go here in the first. Dean back under center with Dent and Moore in the backfield. There is the snap to Braxton. He's going to toss around the right side to Dent. And he finds a hole to run through and cuts it back across the field, cuts it back up the middle, and he's going to get those penalty yards back. That's going to be a 10-yard pickup there for let's see where they mark it. We're going to call it a 9-yard pickup there for number 4, Logan Dent. That's going to bring up a much more manageable 2nd and 11 now for the Lions on the Warrior 13-yard line.
The injured Warrior player is subbed back into the ballgame.
Wonder if he just got a helmet in the side of the knee or something.
Like a stinger or something.
I'll tell you what, that's some bad pain right there.
Yeah, it is.
So the Lions offense breaks the huddle, comes back to the line. Braxton Dean under center with Moore and Dent in the backfield. There is the snap to Braxton. He's going to toss around the left side to Karis Moore, who's one-on-one with the defender, and he beats him, but then gets blown up by number 9, Garrett Bowling. That is going to be a 5-yard pickup there, 6-yard pickup there. Let's see where they mark this. No, 5-yard pickup there for number 7, Karis Moore. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 that right? 3rd and 6 now.
3rd and 5.
Well, I think they just got that wrong. 3rd and 6 now for the Lions. The ball is on the Warrior 8-yard line. Ball's on the 8. The field line to gains is a 2, Zach. Oh, they fixed it now. 3rd and 6 now for the Lions. Dent and Moore in the backfield. That's going to be a timeout by the Lions. So we're going to take a short commercial break, and we will be right back.
The Kentuckiana Ford Dealers Joe James Pat O'Connor Memorial Race, presented by the Hoosier Lottery and Earl's Indy, is coming up Saturday, September 13th. Racing includes the 500 Sprint Car Tour in the Joe James Pat O'Connor Memorial, USSA Kenyon Midgets, and the Diesel Boys Race Parts Legend. Also, the Midwest Vintage Race Car Club will be on hand with cars on display and making laps on the 1/2 mile. There will be an autograph session prior to the Joe James Pat O'Connor Memorial with the 500 Sprint Car Tour drivers. General admission tickets are $25. Chairback seats are $30. Kids 6 through 12 are just $5, and kids 5 and under are free. Pits open at noon. Practices and spectator gates open at 3 p.m., and racing gets underway at 7 p.m. Get more information and to buy tickets, go to SalemSpeedway.com. Be sure and catch all the racing action coming up at Salem Speedway's famed High Bank, where the racing is so fast, it's already history.
And we are back where the Lions have the ball, 3rd and 6 on the 8-yard line of the Warriors. Braxton Dean has broken the huddle and brought his team to the line with Karis Moore in the backfield as the lone back. And there is a motion from Peyton Shockey. There's a snap. It's going to be a toss right to Peyton Shockey. He's trying to get to the edge. He gets cut back, but he does get across the 5-yard line where he's drove back. I think they're going to mark him at the 5. Not sure exactly what's going on here. The Lions are quickly back to the line here. So that's going to be a 4-yard pickup there for Peyton Shockey, and the Lions are quickly back to the line, and that's going to bring out a timeout here from Kyle Mullins of the Warriors. So we'll stay here with them because we've been putting them on a lot of commercial breaks. But, Zach, one thing you mentioned during the last commercial break is quarterback Ethan Campbell is up and running on the sideline. He looks like he's moving pretty well. Mallory's having him run through some tests, but he does look like he's moving pretty well down there.
Yeah, and that's something you love to see. You hate to see any kid get hurt in a football game.
Absolutely, and, you hate to see any kid get hurt. It does hurt a little worse when it's your quarterback, but, I will say Braxton Dean's done great when he came in here and done what he had to do, so he's done well recovering for Ethan over here while Ethan's been trying to get that knee back to, 100%.
Yeah, and while I have a chance here, I'm going to highlight some other local games. Right now, Brownstown is currently up on New Albany 7-0. They are playing at New Albany. Corden will be at North Harrison for a rivalry game there. Madison is at Charlestown. Silver Creek was last I heard down to Floyd Central. They are at Floyd Central, but they're losing 3-0.
I'm going to cut you off, Zach, because the Lions' offense is back to the line here. So we've got a 3-back set now for the Lions with Peyton Shockey, Karis Moore, and Logan Dent in the backfield behind Braxton Dean. And there's a snap to Braxton. He's going to toss it around the right side to Dent, who fights his way forward, and I believe he gets into the end zone. Nope, they're going to mark him short, but it's going to be a first down, so it's going to give the Lions 4 chances to get half a yard here, and that's not going to be a touchdown. So it's going to be...
Was that a 4-yard pickup?
It was a 3-yard pickup, I believe.
And I think 2 of those yards he was in the air diving for it.
Yep. So it's going to bring up a 1st and goal here for the Lions. He can't be that far away. He's just a few inches away from being in the end zone here.
If the center falls, he's in the end zone.
Basically. We've got under a minute now with 55 seconds to go in the first quarter. Lions come to the line, same formation, 3-back set with Braxton under center. And there's a snap to Braxton. It's going to be a handoff to Karis Moore, who I thought stopped. Nope, they're going to mark him short, so that's going to bring up 2nd down and goal now for the Lions, again on about the half-yard line.
I'll get these in real quick here. Jennings County is at Pekin Eastern. West Washington is at Mitchell. Springs Valley at Paoli. And a battle of undefeateds. Clarksville is at Switzerland County.
Switzerland County has impressed me with their games so far this year. They look pretty good.
I haven't heard.
They beat somebody pretty bad. I did see that. So the Lions come back to the line with Moore and Shockey and Dent in the backfield behind Dean.
10 seconds remain in this first quarter.
And there's the snap to Braxton. He's going to roll out to the right. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to try to get in, and he is in. So that's going to be a touchdown for the Lions here on the second and very short. It was a second and about 6 inches there on the call for Braxton Dean. He got around the right end and got his way into the end zone. So now we've got kicker Blake Applegate in for the PAT here after the big score there to cut the Warrior lead down. And let's see what's going on here.
Blake Applegate in for the try.
All right, okay, here we go. So the Lions PAT team is set. The kick is up, and it got blocked at the line by the Warriors. So the score is going to say Warriors 7, Lions 6. We've got 1 minute, 1 second, and 200. Is that millisecond or hundredths of a second?
I thought it was a tenth.
We got 1.2 seconds here to go in the first quarter, and the Lions kickoff team will be up next. And I think we'll stay here and just go over some other notes we've gotten written down that we didn't have time for in the pregame show.
Yeah, let's highlight those college games this weekend, Brandon.
Oh, yeah. So we got Kennesaw State on the road visiting the beloved Hoosiers of IU tomorrow at noon.
Number 23.
Number 23. They dropped after they won. Don't know how that happened.
I know.
We got Southern Illinois at Purdue also set tomorrow at 7:30. James Madison at U of L tonight at 5. That game's already or 7. That game's already started. And we've got number 20 Ole Miss on the road visiting the Wildcats of Kentucky tomorrow at 3:30 as well. So we got some good matchups tomorrow in the college world. One thing that stuck out to me last week, and I called it, Florida State beating Alabama.
I called that too. I was talking to somebody and I said, Bama's going to get beat week 1.
I'm not a Bama fan, so love to see him lose. Kalen DeBoer better be careful. He's not going to have a job after this year. Might not have a job after the next couple of weeks if he keeps losing.
Sabins will come out of retirement.
Yep. Lions kickoff team is set, and that means Blake Applegate is ready to kick it back deep for the Warriors as number 5, Landon Shuck, and number 1, Matthew Wicke. There's the kickoff from Applegate, and it's going to be fielded at the 20-yard line by the Warriors, and he's going to be brought down on a great tackle by Dylan Walters at the 35-yard line, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter, so we're going to take a short commercial break between that quarters, but Zach has something to say first.
It is good to see number 12, Ethan Campbell, running onto the field.
He is back, and he is healthy, so we will be back after a short commercial break.
Got underutilized land? Vital Farms is looking for farmers with about 52 acres and a passion for animal welfare. Become a pasture-raised egg farmer to diversify your farm income and earn more from your vacant land. You'll receive dedicated support from day one, earnings you can count on, and the opportunity to keep the family in farming. Your land has value. Let's make the most of it. Call 844-494-VITAL or apply online at vitalfarms.com/farmers. Again, that's 844-494-VITAL.
And we are back here at Jim Ralston Field at Paul A. Graves Athletic Stadium.
Yeah. Zach's not used to saying that, so it caught him a little off guard when I told him he had to say it. But, Zach, you want to give that score update, or do you want me to do it?
Brownstown is currently up over the New Albany Bulldogs, 14-0. I have Silver Creek and Floyd Central still 3-0, Floyd Central. And Corden North Harrison is tied up at 7.
But here at Salem, the Warriors' offense is set. They come out bird and gun with 2 running backs in the backfield. There's snap handoff to Landon Shuck, and that play was blown up before it even started by number 8, Braxton Dean, and that's going to be a 2-yard loss there for Landon Shuck on first down. That's going to bring up 2nd and 12 now for the Warriors here on the Lions' 33-yard line. No, 32-yard line. They're going to mark that for a loss of 3.
That's what you love to see for the first defensive play for the Lions. It's crazy to say it's the second quarter and we're just started being on defense.
Yep, so great play there from Braxton Dean, but the Warriors are already back to line. Bird and gun, Shuck behind him, 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 wide to the left. There's a snap to Bird. He looks to throw, and he throws a deep ball over to Garrett Bowling, and he overthrew him by about 5 yards, but luckily for the Lions he did, or he might have been going into the end zone. So that's going to be an incomplete pass from Bird to Bowling there. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 12 now, 3rd and 13 now for the Warriors. Sorry, I didn't correct that last time. Zach, you got to be on top of that.
I'm putting in stats, man.
True, he's my stats guy.
Stat Zach.
Yep, Zach stats. 3rd and 13 now for the Warriors. They try to draw the Lions off sides and don't do it. So Bird is in gun or pistol with Chuck behind him, 3 wide to the left. There's a snap. Bird drops back to throw, and he's looking to his left. He's going to roll out to his left a little bit. He's chased by a Lion, and he's trying to get rid of it, and he can't. Stiff arms the Lion. He's getting chased from behind. Great block. Another great block. The flags are flying, and it's going to be caught by Garrett Bowling at the 48-yard line. Another flag flies in. I think we've got 3 flags here on the offense. It's going to be a crackback block, maybe another one, and an offensive pass interference down here.
This is probably going to take a while for the rest to sort out.
Yeah, they got to figure this one out. That was definitely an offensive pass interference on Garrett Bowling.
With that being said, we've already accomplished one thing that we said in the pregame show was a key to victory, and that's to put pressure on the quarterback.
And they done it there.
He ran backwards, 15 yards?
Yeah, he was. That flag was thrown where he was running, and the flag's at the 24, and the ball was at the 32. So at least, he definitely ran more than 8 yards back.
He was going east, west, north, south.
He was running everywhere. He might have been on his way back to Scottsburg. I'm not sure yet, but he did return back to the field of play, so that's good. So they don't know.
One player we haven't got the call tonight, but it's good to see him back in uniform, is number 5, Caden Romero.
Hasn't played since middle school.
Nope, he had a knee injury, wasn't it?
Yeah. So they called block in the back on Scottsburg, and they called offensive pass interference. You don't get both. You got to pick one. So they should take the block in the back, because that's going to set Scottsburg way back.
It's from the spot of the foul, isn't it?
I believe so. If it's behind the line of scrimmage, I believe it's the spot of the foul. If it's downfield, it's from the line of scrimmage. Nope, they're going to mark it from the line of scrimmage. All right.
10 or 15?
It's not a personal foul, so I think it's 10. So they did elect to take the block in the back, I believe. Nope, 15. Wow.
That sets them far on this.
Yeah, so the line to gain is the 45. The Warriors currently have the ball 3rd down on the 17. So it is 3rd and 28 for the Warriors.
I would expect a pass.
I would think so.
That's what logic will tell you. But
or you give it to Shuck and let him try to get it.
That is also true.
There's a snap to Bird. He drops back. It is going to be a pass. Zach called it, and it's going to be a screen pass to Shuck, and he's got some blockers ahead of him. And Shuck's going to keep running. He breaks the tackle from the Lions at the 30, gets across the 35, down to the 36. So that's going to bring up
an 18-yard pickup.
It was a pretty big pickup there for the Warriors, but that's going to bring in their punt team. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 9 for the Warriors at the 46-yard line. So after 3 plays, the Warriors did only gain 1 yard. Now, the penalties did set them back pretty bad. But it's going to be 4th and 9 for the Warriors at their own 36-yard line.
When I saw that screen pass, I was starting to hold my breath, in the way the surge of blockers was in front of them.
There's a snap to Bowling. It's a great punt from Garrett Bowling. It's going to land at the 28 and bounce. Peyton Shockey's going to field it at the 24, and he's going to get to the 27. There's going to be a 3-yard punt return there for Peyton Shockey, and that's going to set the Lions up 1st and 10 here on their own 27-yard line. That was a pretty good punt there from senior Garrett Bowling.
Yeah, 10:06 remains in the first half. Lions are still down 6-7. That was a 3-yard return for number 3, and he felt every bit of that 3 yards.
This Scottsburg team is a very hard-hitting team, and they hit low, too. One of them hits low, stacks you up, and the rest of them hits you up high and
try and take the ball
as hard as they can. So Braxton Dean still in at quarterback. He is under center with Karis Moore, the lone back, in the backfield. Logan Dent, the right slot there. The line is set. Dent's in motion. There's a snap. It's going to be tossed around the left side to Dent, who cuts it back up the middle, finds a little hole to run through, runs across the 30-yard line down to the 33-yard line. So that's going to be a 6-yard pickup there for Logan Dent on 1st down, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 now for the Lions here on their own 33-yard line.
That was the 6th rush attempt tonight for Logan Dent, 22 yards.
So the Lions break the huddle. Braxton brings the offense back to the line. Braxton's under center with Karis Moore and Logan Dent in the backfield, 2-back set, 1 wide receiver on each side. That's a snap. It's going to be a QB sneak, and there's going to be a flag, and that's going to be a false start on the Lions. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 now for the Lions. You know, quarterback sneaks are easy to get false starts on, but that's the worst time to get a false start.
Yep. Quarterback's eager to get the ball in his hands and go.
Yep, and the line's eager to get in front of everybody and blocking, especially when, you're playing a team like Scottsburg. You got 2 D tackles in there that are 300 pounds, and that's hard to move.
Yeah, the key to that is just beat him off the ball.
They've got another one in there now, and he's 340 at D tackle, number 73, Caden Schuler.
He just got subbed in.
Yep. Dean under center, 2 backs in the backfield. That's Moore and Dent. There's a snap to Dean. He's going to toss around the left side to Karis Moore. He's shaking and baking his way across the 30, where he's brought down pretty hard at the 31-yard line. So that's going to be a 3-yard pickup. Are they going to mark it as the 32? It's going to be the 32-yard line. So it's going to be a 4-yard pickup there for Karis Moore. So we're back to that 3rd and 6 now.
8:50 remain here in the first half, 6-7 Warriors. Scottsburg is getting the call from their coach. Salem's getting their call from theirs.
That was a 4-yard carry there. It's going to be 3rd and 5 now for the Lions. Dent in motion. There's a snap, fake toss to Dent, and Braxton's around the right side. He's got room to run. He's going to throw it across the 40 to Peyton Shockey, and he's across the 50. He's breaking tackles. He's down the sideline. He's going to make his way across the 45, down to the 42-yard line of the Warriors, and that is going to be about a 26-yard pickup there for Peyton Shockey on the pitch and catch from Braxton Dean, and that's going to give the Lions a new set of downs on the Warrior side of the field here at the 42-yard line. Great play there from the Lions.
If that wasn't for the safety for Scottsburg, Shockey would have been gone.
Peyton's quick, and you're not going to catch him from behind, that's for sure.
There was not a defender around him.
Nope. So the Lions break the huddle, come to the line. Dent in at right slot, actually. Dean under center with Moore in the backfield. And Dent is in motion. There's a snap toss around the left side to Dent, who cuts it up the middle. Doesn't have really room to run, but he's dragging a Warrior defender, and he's going to be stood up and stopped about the 38-yard line. So it's going to be a 4-yard pickup there for Logan Dent, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6 now for the Lions on the Warrior 38-yard line.
I've noticed that Scottsburg's defense is starting to walk their secondary up closer to linebacker depth here.
Yep, if you can run like a little pop pass there,
you could almost
little
see Caden.
Little pop pass to your tight end. He might be wide open down the field. So Dean comes back to the line. Dent and Moore in the backfield. Peyton Shockey at right slot. There's a snap. He's going to be tossed to Dent. He's going to hand it off to Peyton Shockey around the left side, who's dragged down in the backfield. It's going to be a pretty big loss there for the Lions back to the 46-yard line, and that is going to be an 8-yard loss for the Lions, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 14 now for the Lions here on the Warrior 46. And Scottsburg's D-end on this side did the right thing, stayed around the right side, contains the edge, and Peyton tried to go outside of him, and he just couldn't do it.
It's one of the hardest jobs on defense is setting the edge, but it's one of the most crucial jobs.
Yep. It's one of the most rewarding jobs. That you're going to make tackles if you set the edge. The Lions back to the line. Dean under center with Moore, the lone back in the backfield. Wide receiver out up top is Lenny Wynn. Down low is Waylon Foster. Is a snap. Braxton looks to throw. He has nowhere to throw, and he is brought down in the back. He tries to get rid of it and just throws it away, and that's going to be...
They're calling it incomplete.
That was an intentional grounding, that's for sure, because number 50 is not an eligible receiver.
They're bringing the official over.
Yeah, they're going to talk about it. This might be...
I won't be surprised.
If they call this intentional grounding, that's going to be a big field flipper for the Lions. Oh, they're not going to call it. Okay. So we're going to go to 4th and 14 now with Braxton Dean into punt. think the Lions got away with one there.
Yeah.
Braxton was wrapped up pretty deep in the backfield, and that would have been big for the Warriors. But back deep to receive is not number 5, Landon Shuck.
Number 3.
Number 3, Luke Hamilton. There's a snap to Braxton. He punts it away. It's a short punt to the right here, and it's going to land and hit a Lion defender at the 32-yard line. So that's not going to be a big punt there for the Lions, and that's going to set up the Warriors 14 yards from the original from the line of scrimmage for the Lions, and that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Warriors here on their own 32-yard line. We've got 6:17 to go in the second quarter. The Warriors lead the Lions 7-6. We're going to stay right here because all the teams are already ready to play.
Brownstown scored again on New Albany at 21-0.
Yeah, that Brownstown team is.
Corden's up over North Harrison 15-7.
Wow. So the Warriors break the huddle, come to line. Bird and Pistol, Shuck behind them, 2 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. There's a snap to Bird. He drops back to throw, and he is looking deep. He throws it across the middle, and it's going to be caught at the 45 and dropped at the 45. He had it in his hands and just let it go through it, and that was a crucial drop there for number 7, Raquelme Pinto Herrera of the Warriors, and that would have been a big play on 1st down for the Warriors.
He needs to go do some push-ups after that drop.
Yeah, if that hits you in the middle of the chest.
He was standing on the logo.
Yeah. He was at the 45-yard line ready to run because there wasn't really anybody around him, and he just let the ball hit the turf.
That's why they teach you to catch the ball, then run.
Yep, that's why they teach you to catch it with your hands, too, not your pads. Bird back in pistol. There's a snap, handoff to Shuck up the middle. He's got some room to the left side, and he is across the 35 where he had swung out of bounds. He stayed on his feet. The Lions defender did not. Shows how tough that running back is for them. It's going to be a 3-4 yard pickup there for Landon Shuck on 2nd down. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 now for the Warriors on their own 36-yard line. And this is where the Lions defense has to step up and get some stops.
Yeah, with 5:58 remaining here in the first half, this is only the 9th play right here that the Scottsburg offense has ran.
Snap to Bird, he drops back to throw, and he's rolling to his right, and he doesn't have anywhere to go, and he's trying to. He throws it across the middle, and it's going to be broke up, and they're going to call a pass interference on Peyton Shockey there. So that is going to be an automatic 1st down for the Warriors. I don't know.
I saw a holding, but I know that's not what the flag
They missed the holding. The flag's definitely on a pass interference on Peyton Shockey.
That was a very questionable pass interference.
Yes and no. It depends on how you look at it. Definitely depends on how you look at it. So that's going to be 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, and that's going to give...
I thought it was a 15.
Oh, it is 15. You're right, I think.
I think it's 15 no matter what in high school.
So it's going to be 15, so that's going to set the ball now at the Lions' 49-yard line.
That was a crucial pass interference call.
Yes, it was. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 now for the Warriors at the Lions' 49. Questionable pass interference. Was it pass interference? Probably.
And there was a hole right in front of the rim.
Do you call that pass catchable? Probably not. Did we get away with one on offense? Yes. Let's call it a get-back call.
That's about all you can call it, right?
Bird in pistol. There's the snap to him. He's got 2 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right, and he is off and scrambling. He's getting chased by Greg Cutro in the backfield. He's going to break that tackle before he is pushed onto the track, and that's going to be a 3-yard pickup there for Nathan Bird on 1st down. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 7 now for the Warriors. They have the ball on the Lions' 46. I tell you what, these refs just keep moving the ball around. We're going to call it the 47.
Yeah, it's hard to even call where they're putting it.
Yeah.
The far line judge and the near line judge aren't even close to being on the same page.
And the far line judge was at 1 yard closer than the other ref put the ball back a yard. So it's going to be a 2-yard pickup there for Nathan Bird on 1st down. 2nd and 8 now for the Warriors. There's a snap. He hands it off to Shuck around the right side, who cuts it up the middle, and didn't really have anywhere to go. So let's see, we got a lineman that got rolled up on. Let's see if he gets up, and he may or may not here. And he is very slow to get up if he's getting up. That is Caden Schuler there for the Warriors.
See, how long was that run?
So, well, it depends on where they mark it. There's a 4-yard pickup there for Shuck on 2nd down, so it's 3rd and 4 now for the Warriors on the Lions' 43-yard line. Got 5:07 to go here in the second quarter. Bird in pistol with Shuck behind him. Trips right for the Warriors. There's a snap. Bird scrambles up the middle, and he's going to run over a Lion defender and get the first down. So he is going to pick up the 4 yards needed. He's going to get the first down. That was a great tackle there by Mason Quinlan after a big hit by Nathan Bird.
I tell you.
Nope, great tackle there by Karis Mort. That 7 looked like a 1.
They are not giving Bird any time to throw.
No, and that's what we talked about. That's what we talked about in pregame.
That
they got to do.
That is a 180 from what happened last year.
1st and 10 for the Warriors now on the Lions 39. Bird in pistol, trips right for the Warriors. One single receiver to the left. There's a snap to Bird. He drops back looking to throw. And he's got some receivers. He's got some pressure, and he's going to throw it across the middle. And it's going to be over the head of his receiver at the 5-yard line. And if his receiver would have kept running, he would have caught that. I think it would have surprised him that he caught it, but he would have. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 now for the Warriors on the Lions' 39-yard line. Clock does stop, so we got 4:28 to go here before halftime. The Warriors lead 7-6.
Right now, Bird's only going 25% completion.
I think his receivers are kind of killing that. He had one get dropped in the middle of the field. His receiver quit running there. And, I mean, it was a great ball over the head of all the Lions defenders, and his receiver just quit running. Bird in pistol, Shuck behind him, trips to the right, one receiver to the left. There's a snap. Fake handoff to Shuck, and Bird's got it around the left side, and he's running down the sideline, and he swings around a tackle down to the 30-yard line, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 1 after a 9-yard carry for Nathan Bird, and that was just a simple option play, and the Lions' defense all crashed to the running back, and Bird had 9 yards to run before he got hit.
Running the tempo offense now.
Yep, so Bird under center. This is a push. There's a snap to Bird, and it's going to be a tush push, and they're going to blow it dead. Let's see. I don't see any flags.
There's a flag.
There's a flag. So it's going to be false start on the Warriors. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 now. We've seen the tush push in the NFL now for 2 years. They tried to get it banned, but it wouldn't pass.
It's a heck of a play if you're running it, but it's not good if you're on defense.
Well, if you get a false start, it's really not good on offense. So we talked about it. QB stinks, can't get false start.
Getting a little eager.
Yep. I don't think the center snapped the ball when he was supposed to there. Everybody started moving but the center.
It's kind of hard to start a play without the center.
I'll tell you what. Legally, at least. 3rd and 6 now for the Warriors on the Lions 35. 2 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. Bird in pistol. There's a snap. Fake handoff to Shuck, and Bird's got it around the left side. And he's got some blockers, and he's going to be a great tackle in the open field there by DJ Ward. That's only going to allow Nathan Bird to pick up 2 yards, I believe, maybe even 1. And, he looked like he had room to run, and DJ Ward closed on him quick, made a great open field tackle for a stop after 1 yard. And that's going to bring up 4th and 5 now for the Warriors. And we'll be interested. I'm interested to see what they run here.
Yeah, DJ Ward coming in as a sophomore or junior, 6'1", 170, amazing open field tackle.
Yep. Bird in pistol, 3 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. That's Garrett Bowling, the single receiver to the left. And the Warriors are going to take a timeout, and Zach and I will also take a timeout. We will be back after a short commercial break.
If you're living with back or neck pain, even the simplest tasks can feel overwhelming. But Expert Relief is closer than you think. Schneck now offers 2 specialized practices for spine care, Schneck Neurosurgery and Schneck Orthopedic Spine, giving you access to a full spectrum of advanced treatment options right here at home. We're proud to highlight Dr. Matthew Stanfield, a highly skilled neurosurgeon with over 25 years of experience and leader of Schneck Neurosurgery, renowned for his expertise in treating complex spinal conditions. Schneck Spine Care Program proudly welcomes Dr. Kenneth McKinley, a board-certified orthopedic spine surgeon with over a decade of experience, who now leads Schneck Orthopedic Spine. Together, these 2 practices bring you comprehensive spine care, from advanced imaging and non-surgical therapies to expert surgical solutions, all tailored to your unique needs. And because it's Schneck, you'll receive compassionate, high-quality care without having to travel far. Visit schneckmed.org to learn more. Schneck Orthopedic Spine and Schneck Neurosurgery, expert spine care, close to home.
And we are back here with 3 minutes to go. Lions trail 7-6, but the Warriors have 4th and 5 at the Lions 34. And Bird is in pistol. There's the snap to Bird. It's a kind of a wayward snap. Bird throws it deep, and his intended target is number 9, Garrett Bowling, who comes down with it over Lenny Wynn in the end zone. And that's what makes that kid so great, is he just went up and he got that ball on a smaller defender. And that's going to be a 34-yard pitch and catch there from Nathan Bird to Garrett Bowling on 4th and 5. That's a bold move to throw at 35 yards, but it was a great ball from Bird into the back corner of the end zone, and that's just I'll take my guy over yours, and that's exactly what happened there. So the Warriors take the lead now, or extend their lead 13-6, pending this extra point here. And I wouldn't have expected them to throw one deep into the end zone.
Yeah, I didn't expect a home run ball in that situation.
Well, I know. I mean, maybe that's why it worked. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So that's going to make the lead now for the Warriors 14-6 here over the Lions. We got 2:52 to go before halftime. Warriors lead the Lions 14-6, and we'll stay right here. Zach's got some score updates for us, I think.
Yeah, shout out to Terry Corbin giving us the West Washington score, 14-0. West Washington up over the Blue Jackets.
And after when he told me who they were playing tonight, after watching Mitchell and the Jamboree, I expected West Washington to take care of that one pretty easily, and it looks like they're going to.
Brownstown's up 34-0 on New Albany.
What quarter is that in?
Second.
I was talking to some of the kids at school today, and I said that I would be very surprised if Brownstown put up less than 60 in any game this year. And
Floyd Central is up 17-0 on Silver Creek.
Yep.
Still 15-7, Corden over North Harrison.
That kind of surprises me.
Me too.
Talking about Floyd Central, their girls' flag football team, Coach Thompson down there has done a great job with him. I think they're like 4-0 or something like that. And I saw a video of one of their running backs down the sideline, and that girl was absolutely cooking.
Really?
Oh, my goodness. She was insane. And she apparently got 5th in long jump last year in the state tournament and the state championship.
Maybe me and you need to look into coaching.
That's what I said. Football. I've tried to get one here. I feel like we got enough players that play, but we have so many girl athletes that play other sports in the fall, it would be kind of hard to get a team. But there is a deep kick for the Warriors. It's going to be fielded about the 18-yard line by Peyton Shockey, and they're going to blow that dead for an offsides on the Scottsburg kickoff team. You don't normally see that a whole lot.
That's the first time we've called it all season.
Yeah, I think it's the first time. I don't think we called it all last year either.
There were some times it should have been thrown.
Probably. So for those that you don't quite understand the offside penalty on the kickoff, it doesn't really make sense when the way you say it. But for the kickoff team, the 10 defenders on the kickoff team cannot cross the ball before it is kicked. And it looked like the Warriors kickoff team got a little happy there and maybe got across the ball too early. But yeah, I've been trying to get a girls flag football here. We'll get legendary Coach Motzinger to come out and coach our quarterbacks there.
Got him chuckling up here.
He can tell them the Fran Tarkington story.
It's worth noting both teams have 2 timeouts here with 2:52 remaining.
That is definitely worth noting. Good job, Zach.
Thank you.
That's why I hired you. You're just great at what you do.
I would say you make a great boss, but you're not really even the boss.
No, I am not. Becky is...
Shout out to Greg and Becky.
Yeah, absolutely. They're wonderful bosses. They do everything and anything for us, and it's great to have them helping us as much as they can. There is the new kickoff for the Warriors, and it's going to land about the 29, and it's going to go out of bounds right there. So the Lions will take over 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line here once again.
That's the 3rd penalty on kickoffs now.
Yeah, and they've all been on Scottsburg. Are you tracking those on your stats?
I just have the offsides one.
Well, you better put that illegal kick on.
I don't do that because, you get it at the 35.
Illegal kick times 2.
I guess
I'm just kidding. You don't have to put that in.
I guess you could put it, but...
it's stats.
There's no yardage to it.
Those are Zach's stats right there.
Unofficial
Zach stats. So with 2:52 to go here before halftime, the Warriors lead the Lions 14-6, but the Lions' offense looks to score. It's also worth noting the Lions kick off to the Warriors to start the second half. The Warriors did win the toss and defer to the second half, so they will receive the kickoff after halftime.
Like we said, 2 timeouts for each team.
So the Lions have broke the huddle and came to the line. Braxton Dean is under center with Karis Moore, the lone back, in the backfield. One wide receiver on the near side, that's Lenny Wynn. One wide receiver on the far side, that's Peyton Shockey. And there's going to be a stoppage, and we're not sure what's going on.
Official timeout.
An official timeout.
Officially a timeout.
That is not unofficial. That is official.
Officially official.
That is an officially official Zach stat. We're going to start using that now.
2:52 here, like we said, till halftime. Lions are trailing the Warriors 6-14.
So they're moving the ball 5 yards.
I wondered if it would get put different due to the...
It shouldn't. I wouldn't think.
I don't know. Apparently it does.
I guess so. So it's like a double penalty.
In a sense, yes.
Interesting. So Braxton Dean brings his team to the line. Karis Moore in the backfield, the lone back at the 40-yard line now. 1st and 10. Dent in motion to the right. There's a snap, toss around the right side to Dent. He cuts it back up the middle, gets tripped up at the line, falls his way forward for about 3 yards. So that's going to be 2nd and 7 now for the Lions on the 43-yard line on their own side of the field. They are quickly back to the line with Dean and under center, Dent and Moore in the backfield this time. There's a snap toss around the left side to Dent, who cuts it back up the middle and drags the Warrior defender across the first down marker. That's going to be a 7-yard pickup, 8-yard pickup there for Logan Dent on 2nd and 7. So that's going to put the Lions in Warrior territory now at the 49-yard line with a new set of downs. It stops the clock while they get the chains, and now I think they've restarted. Yep. 2:20 to go here before halftime. Lions break the huddle, come to the line. Dean under center, 2 wide receivers on the near side this time, Lenny Wynn and Waylon Foster. Karis Moore and Logan Dent in the backfield. There's a snap to Braxton. He's going to toss around the left side to Karis Moore. And he tries to cut back and, again, just contain the edge there for the D-end. He does pick up 2. Wow, that's a generous spot.
And the Warriors have the ball getting up out of the pile.
I'm not sure how that happened, but that ref gave them a really generous spot here.
I will take it.
So that's going to be a... Where are they marking this? Is it 2 or 3? We'll call it 3 yards.
Yeah, we'll call it 3.
So it's now at 2nd and a long 7. The Lions are going to take a timeout. That will leave them with 1 in their pocket. So we will take a short commercial break, and we will be right back.
All over Hoosier Country. To the line. He may go. Down to the 25. Down to the 15. 5. Touchdown again. Coming off a college football playoff under Coach Kurt Signetti. Indiana's got the football. The Hoosiers host Kennesaw State. Join us live this Saturday. Our coverage begins at 11 a.m. right here on your home for Indiana football. The IU Sports Network from Learfield.
And we are back at Paul A. Graves Athletic Stadium at Jim Ralston Field here, where the Salem Lions trailed the Scottsburg Warriors 14-6. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds to go here before halftime. The Lions currently have the ball 2nd and a long 7 on the Warrior 46-yard line, is what we'll call it.
Yep, the Lions are trailing the Warriors 6-14. Lions have 1 timeout remaining here, and the Warriors have 2.
So the Lions play call is getting conversed about in the huddle. Warriors defense is already on the ball waiting here. So
now in this situation, Brandon, do you have 2, maybe 3 plays you say in the huddle so you can run tempo?
I mean, you got 1 timeout. First down, stop the clock. So I think it's just a situational thing. If you get the first down, you have time to huddle. If you don't, I'd get back on the ball. Dean under center. Flexbone look for the Lions with Karis Moore in the backfield. Peyton Shockey's in motion. There's a snap around the right side to Peyton Shockey. He cuts it back. He cuts around the left side, and he's chased down from behind, but he's dragging a Warrior defender. He is not a very good big guy, but he did drag the Warrior defender down to the 42-yard line, and they have a Warrior down on the field.
Same player,
and that's the same kid that got hurt earlier, and it looks like he might be holding the same leg.
How many yards does Shockey have on that carry?
Let's see. Again, they marked it in a weird spot. It was 2nd and 7. Now it's 3rd and 3. So 4 yards. But with this injury timeout, we will take a commercial break. Actually, no, we'll just stay here and talk about stuff. What kind of stuff you want to talk about, Zach?
That Warrior player looks like he's in pain.
Yeah, I wonder if that knee injury that stinger earlier, was a little bit more serious than it was. But we'll go ahead and talk about the Scottsburg game from last week, because we got some notes in here about that. Not Scottsburg, this is Scottsburg. The Silver Creek game from last week. The Lions did pick up a win against the Dragons of Silver Creek. It wasn't a pretty win, but it was a win. And that was the first time the Lions have beat Silver Creek in 9 years.
Yes, I remember that. It's when we played our freshman year.
Yep, back to our freshman year. Again, it wasn't a pretty win, and it wasn't a great team that we beat, but it's a conference win against a much bigger, more athletic program than we are, and it's just a great win either way you look at it, however you want to look at it. The name of the game in that one was penalties.
Last week or when we played?
Last week.
Yes, penalties, and I just feel like Silver Creek did not have any rhythm whatsoever.
No, their offense, nothing was flowing.
They didn't even look like they wanted to be on the field.
Nothing was flowing for them. They had 11 penalties, and that's pretty much what cost them the game because they had some big plays get called back by penalties, and that's pretty much what stopped their offensive drive on every time they had the ball.
A little off topic, but Charlestown's up over Madison 14-7. North Harrison and Corden's tied 15-15.
Well, looks like the injured Warrior, that's number 12, Mason Coulter, is off the field here. Hopefully he can recover from that one quickly. He's moving very tenderly.
Minute 27 remains, 14-6 Warriors.
Braxton Dean under center. And there's the snap to Braxton. Going to be tossed around the left side to Logan Dent, who fumbles the ball on the toss, and he does jump on his own fumble. He is going to pick up a yard.
I don't think I've seen a fumble where you recover your own fumble and gain yardage.
Yep, so that's going to be a 1-yard gain there from Logan Dent on the fumble. So it's going to bring up 4th and 2 now for the Lions. They are quickly back to the line, and they're going to burn their last time out here with 1 minute and 2 seconds to go here in the second quarter. But, yeah, I'm not going to go anywhere just because that wasn't very long.
Yeah, I'd just say we stay here because in a minute they're going to hear commercials anyways.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, I mean, we're going to have plenty of commercials at halftime, so we'll keep you here. But for the moment, again, we pray that Warrior player can recover from that injury pretty quickly. Luckily for the Lions, it did look like quarterback Ethan Campbell was able to recover from his. He did come back out on defense. He did not come back out on offense, but he does look pretty good there moving around on defense right now. The cheerleaders are down here doing cool stuff. The student section is wearing their bright neon colors, and everybody's excited for this game right now, which is great to see because I can't say the same about any of the games last year. But this moment right now, the fans are really into this one here. 4th and 2 now for the Lions on the Warrior 41-yard line, and Braxton Dean has taken the snap, tossed around the right side to Logan Dent. He is getting around to the right side, and he's going to shoot across the 40, pick up the first down, and gain an extra 3 yards there. So that's going to be a 5-yard pickup there for Logan Dent, and that's going to bring up 1st and 10 now at the Warriors 36, and the Lions offense is moving quick with Braxton Dean back under center, Moore and Dent in the backfield. There is the snap to Braxton. He's going to toss around the left side, and there's going to be a false start on number 7, Karis Moore. So that's going to bring up 1st and 15, and the clock does stop for the time being. I think it restarts once they get set. 48.9 seconds to go here before halftime.
No timeouts for the Lions, 2 for the Warriors.
Yep, Lions trail 14-6 behind the Warriors. So it's going to be 1st and 15 now back to the 41-yard line of the Warriors. Lions break the huddle, come back to the line. Braxton is going to be in gun with Logan Dent to his left. Harris Moore as the power back to the right.
I'd almost expect a pass.
There's the snap to Braxton. He fakes the handoff, and that's exactly what it is. And Braxton's rolling to his right, tries to throw it across the field, and throws it into the ground. There's a bunch of flags on the play. I don't know what this is going to be.
That second flag came from like 15 yards away. Pass interference?
I wouldn't think so, but wasn't catchable for anybody. Is it holding on Scottsburg?
I saw this.
Walk in the back? What are we doing?
It's on Scottsburg.
It is on Scottsburg.
We're trying to figure out what's going on here, guys.
Not exactly sure what that flag was called. I think it was holding on the defense, maybe? In the secondary? Oh, it's pass interference on the Warriors. So that's going to bring up a first down for the Lions here on the 26-yard line, and that's just a terrible time to get a pass interference.
I don't know what the pass interference is on, but we'll take it.
Yeah. So Braxton's back under center. Moore's alone back in the backfield, flex bone formation, Dent in motion. There's a snap. It's going to be a fake toss to Dent. Dean rolls to his right, and he's got a receiver down the field, and it's going to be thrown into the hands of the Warriors at the 5-yard line, and he's going to be immediately stopped. He had Drake Kutrell behind the defense, and he just underthrew him by about 4 yards. So that's going to be a crucial turnover there for the Lions with 26.8 seconds to go here before halftime. I expect Scottsburg to probably just take some knees as they've got 95 yards to go, but they do have 2 timeouts.
I would expect a knee also, but it's high school football. You don't know what you'll expect.
Take a chance, you know? You're up 14-6. You get the ball at halftime. Take a chance.
Maybe we can go all Troy Polamalu, trying to time the snap, tackle him in the end zone.
No, they're definitely taking a knee. So it looks like it is 1st and 10 for the Warriors here on the Lions' on their own 5-yard line. We got 26.8 to go here before halftime, but I would expect the Warriors are just going to take a knee here and go to halftime. This has been a weird first half of football, definitely. And that's exactly what quarterback Nathan Bird does, is he takes a knee, and that is going to take us to halftime. And like we said, it was kind of just a weird half of football there for both teams.
Yes.
But we will be back after the halftime commercial break,
and we will be with Zach Stats.
We will be back with Zach Stats right after we have a I'm not going to call it short, that'd be lying to you.
A word from our sponsors.
A word from our sponsors. Great job, Zach. That's why you're in charge.
Thank you.
So we will be back after a word from our sponsors with some unofficial.
Unofficial.
Stand by for the second half. This is the Salem Lions High School Football Halftime Report on WSLM 97.9 FM.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everyone, to our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Commissioner, I hope you and your family had a great weekend this past weekend over Labor Day.
Yeah, it was a great weekend, Coach. And, you know, it's always a great time to hang out with family, and that's what we were able to do. You know, we've got some grandkids now and got to enjoy them and, you know, and just really sit back and think about the time, where we're at in this great state. Certainly, Labor Day is a holiday to celebrate by many and the people who work hard, and, you know, that goes for our coaches and everybody else that's in the school environment. They're out there working hard in an ever-changing environment to support the student-athletes, and not only student-athletes, but all students in this state. And we're appreciative of the people who choose to do their work in the eye of the public. Sometimes it comes with unfair criticisms towards what they do. But my experience as educators always have a pure heart when it comes to wanting to help kids, and so certainly want to thank all of our folks who work with our student-athletes.
Well said. I think one of the things that doesn't change about the environment is that this time of year there's a whole lot of great competition going on, and before we know it, girls golf will start the fall sports championship schedule on the 18th and 19th of September, which is right around the corner.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to believe, but girls golf kicks off our championship season, and we're ready to go. Chris Kaufman here in the office oversees girls golf, and Chris does a phenomenal job. And, you know, it seems like we talk about this every year, Coach, but it's always worth celebrating. It's just the level of talent that we have in this state. You know, we've got people that, you know, we've got students that are out there playing golf that'll become recreational golfers the rest of their life, but that's after a stop in the collegiate scene. And we have many girls that are out there going to be playing collegiately in the future with in golf, and it's just such a great opportunity to celebrate them. And, you know, Prairie View Golf Course right here in Carmel, Indiana is where we're going to celebrate the state championship. And, again, phenomenal course, phenomenal people to work with, and it's just they embody who we get to work with on an annual basis that helps us celebrate these student-athletes in an appropriate way.
Well, we're at week 3 in the high school football season as we anticipate that girls golf championship championship, and we've had tremendous weather. I'm sure that you should be credited with that. You know, if we're going to blame you for things that go wrong, we might as well give you credit for having the weather being good. So thank you for all that. I hope you have another great weekend coming up, because parity in football, I think, kind of mirrors parity around the state in most of our sports. This is just starting off to be a tremendous athletic year.
Yeah, it does, Coach, and we certainly appreciate the kudos on the weather. But as I said before, I put a call into Mother Nature on Friday nights, and to this day she still hasn't picked up my phone call. So, but anyway, it's great. But we've been fortunate that the heat left us to the oppressive humidity, and so we've been able to operate in relatively comfort as far as weather the last couple of weeks. And it's shaping up to be one heck of a football year. I mean, we've got a lot of really talented teams, and anytime that we have parity, where it's a highly competitive event. Every time teams meet on the old gridiron, it's good for the sport, and we want to continue to make sure that we support. And one thing we always know is the time-honored tradition of playing for your community is still important, and we want to make sure that we always protect that opportunity to grow up in a community and represent your town or your school, and it's really a few short years, 4 years at the most.
He's the commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. This is our weekly conversations about all things pertaining to the IHSAA. Commissioner, as always, thank you so much for your time. Have a fantastic weekend.
Thanks, Coach, and you have a great week. And tune in to Coach's show on Friday and Saturday nights, because it's all things high school sports and more.
Well, you're very kind. I appreciate the help. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
Are you ready for a touchdown of savings? It's football season, and we're kicking off the biggest sale of the year at John Jones Auto Group. Whether you're tailgating or heading to the big game, we've got the perfect ride for you. From sporty SUVs to family-friendly minivans, every vehicle is priced to win. Plus, enjoy unbeatable trade-in deals, 0% financing, and available service contracts that keep you covered long after the final whistle. So why wait? Gear up for greatness with John Jones Auto Group. We're your winning team for the best cars and deals around. Visit us today at one of our 4 convenient locations, Salem, Scottsburg, Greenville, or Corydon, or check us out online at johnjonesautogroup.com. And remember, John Jones Auto Group. You see so many because they paid so little. John Jones supports our Salem Lions. Good luck tonight, and go team.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're good at insurance. But not just any insurance. We're good at...
No.
Did you forget the parking brake? Yes, you forgot the parking brake. Insurance. When the forecast calls for cheese ball fight tail insurance. Even shouldn't have parked under that tree. Insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Call your Washington County Farm Bureau agent, Jason Petmeyer, at 812-620-8923.
After a joint surgery, injury, or illness, Meadowview and Salem Crossing are the best choices for helping you recover. Our Moving Forward Rehabilitation Program offers a full range of therapy. We're here to help you return home safely with the skills you need to live life on your own terms. Meadowview and Salem Crossing, 2 great options for your rehabilitation. To learn more, visit asccare.com or call 888-996-8272.
Planning to buy some land or build a new home, or maybe put up a fence? Do you know your property line? Are you in a floodplain? When it comes to surveying your property, call someone you can trust with years of experience. That's McAllister Land Consulting. Call 812-274-0860, providing fast, friendly service at reasonable rates. McAllister Land Consulting can provide a wide range of services, including residential and commercial certified land surveys, flood elevation certificates, and land usage consulting. Get to know your property. Call McAllister Land Consulting for a free quote today at 812-274-0860.
Let's get on our feet and give a big hand to the starting lineup at McDonald's here in Salem. The Quarter Pounder is coming
down the field. Filet of fish and those golden delicious fries are warming up on the sideline. And now for the feature star of the night, the Big Mac. You score every time with a hot, fresh meal from McDonald's in Salem, whether you're there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Take a time out and stop by before or after the big game to check out their all-day breakfast menu or value menu. Download the McDonald's app and you can get great deals on delicious taste all day long, including buy 5 McCafe drinks and get one free. You'll score every time with the wife and kids when you make a touchdown at the Golden Arches right here in Salem. And don't forget, McDonald's has gift cards so you can give that great fresh taste all season long.
The end of summer is coming faster than we would like. That's why we're savoring every moment and every flavor at Summer Wine Down at Holiday World and Splash and Safari. Festive dishes paired with Indiana wine. Very scary sangrias by the pool. Thanksgiving treats between coasters. Festive foods, select wines, collectible cups. One giant celebration. August 4th through September 13th at Holiday World and Splash and Safari. Come for the thrills. Stay for the flavors. Get your tickets at holidayworld.com.
The pizza makers over at Papa John's are cooking up something pretty crustworthy. The new garlic 5-cheese crust. This one is for the crust lovers, the cheese chasers, and those garlic fanatics. It's loud, it's rich, it's straight up delicious. They start by hand-stretching Papa John's original dough made with 6 simple ingredients, brushing it with garlic parm sauce and adding 5 bold melty cheeses. It's cheesy garlic bread meets pizza. Order the new garlic 5-cheese crust today. Call Reese at 812-883-3369 for pickup or delivery, or order online to collect your Papa Rewards. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
If you're living with back or neck pain, even the simplest tasks can feel overwhelming. But Expert Relief is closer than you think. SNEC now offers 2 specialized practices for spine care, SNEC Neurosurgery and SNEC Orthopedic Spine, giving you access to a full spectrum of advanced treatment options right here at home. We're proud to highlight Dr. Matthew Stanfield, a highly skilled neurosurgeon with over 25 years of experience and leader of SNEC Neurosurgery, renowned for his expertise in treating complex spinal conditions. SNEC Spine Care Program proudly welcomes Dr. Kenneth McKinley, a board-certified orthopedic spine surgeon with over a decade of experience, who now leads SNEC Orthopedic Spine. Together, these 2 practices bring you comprehensive spine care, from advanced imaging and non-surgical therapies to expert surgical solutions, all tailored to your unique needs. And because it's SNEC, you'll receive compassionate, high-quality care without having to travel far. Visit SNECmed.org to learn more. SNEC Orthopedic Spine and SNEC Neurosurgery, expert spine care, close to home.
When it comes to getting the job done right, from driveways to bridge work and paving to construction and excavating, there's one name you can count on: Temple & Temple Excavating. Serving homeowners and also handling big jobs for city, county, and state highway projects, they built a reputation on quality work since 1948. Driveways, construction, demolition. If you need it moved, cleared, built, or torn down, call Temple & Temple Excavating at 812-883-6644. Temple & Temple have been supporting Washington County for 77 years, one project at a time. Call Temple & Temple today at 812-883-6644 or find them online at templeandtemple.com, where you can also apply for job opportunities.
The Kentuckiana Ford Dealers Joe James Pat O'Connor Memorial Race, presented by the Hoosier Lottery and Earl's Indy, is coming up Saturday, September 13th. Racing includes the 500 Sprint Car Tour in the Joe James Pat O'Connor Memorial, USSA Kenyon Midgets, and the Diesel Boys Race Parts Legends. Also, the Midwest Vintage Race Car Club will be on hand with cars on display and making laps on the 1/2 mile. There will be an autograph session prior to the Joe James Pat O'Connor Memorial with the 500 Sprint Car Tour drivers. General admission tickets are $25. Chairback seats are $30. Kids 6 through 12 are just $5, and kids 5 and under are free. Pits open at noon. Practices and spectator gates open at 3 p.m., and racing gets underway at 7 p.m. Get more information and to buy tickets, go to SalemSpeedway.com. Be sure and catch all the racing action coming up at Salem Speedway's famed High Bank, where the racing is so fast, it's already history.
The Campbellsburg Country Festival is back and ready for its 31st season on Friday and Saturday, September 12th and 13th in Campbellsburg, Indiana. Come out and try a variety of food vendors, craft booths, and a weekend of down-home fun. The festival pageant on Sunday, September 7th at 3 p.m. at West Washington High School. Events on September 12th include the annual town-wide yard sales throughout the day and opening ceremonies with live music from the Little Mountain Band at 5 p.m. and the Monarchs at 7 p.m. On Saturdays, there is a 5K and pancake breakfast to get things underway, followed by a baking contest, antique farm machinery show, Little Mr. and Miss contest at noon, Silly Safari at 11 a.m., and a parade at 2 p.m. There will be food vendors, plenty of activities for the kids, live music, and fireworks to close out the day at 9 p.m. For more information, contact Whitley Clements on Facebook or see the festival Facebook page for more information about entering the different contests. All roads in southern Indiana lead to Campbellsburg on September 12th and 13th for the 31st Campbellsburg Country Festival.
And we are back here. We've got about 4.5 minutes before kickoff in this second half, but while we've got this time, we want to thank our wonderful sponsors here at the WSLM Sports Zone: John Jones Auto Group, McDonald's of Salem, Salem Crossing, Meadowview Healthcare, Washington County Tire, Schneck Hospital.
Also, we'd like to thank Papa John's of Salem, Vital Farms, Jason Petmeyer Insurance, Rodney Bruff Insurance, Temple and Temple.
And here we go. The tale of the first half was basically who could hold the ball the longest. There wasn't a whole lot of scoring done.
Really, just a weird first half.
It was a very weird first half. It was kind of confusing to be up here in the booth calling this game. The refs were kind of confusing everybody. There was flags flying that didn't make sense. But for the most part, the Warrior defense got off quick with a scoop and score off of a strip sack on the quarterback of the Lions here. That put the Warriors up 7-0 over the Lions after about 3 minutes. The Lions got the ball back, took about a 9-minute drive. They punched one in, cut the lead 7-6. After that, it was kind of back and forth. Neither team really did anything. But right here with about 2.5 minutes to go, if I'm not wrong, before halftime, the Warriors offense converted a 4th and 5 for a 35-yard touchdown pass. That was from quarterback Nathan Bird to tight end. Well, actually, he was playing receiver. Number 9, Garrett Bowling of the Warriors. We talked about both of them before the game. Obviously, we kind of expected those two to be definitely momentum shifters in the game. Bowling's had a great game so far on defense for the Warriors. He's the one that caused the strip sack. He ended up scoring the touchdown as well. So obviously he's got his name flying around on both sides of the ball. But the Lions punched one in on a 6-inch run from quarterback Braxton Dean. But for the moment, I've got some. Zach and I are going to mix in some score updates here. I've got some. Zach's got some. I'll go first with Brownstown leads New Albany 42-0. Providence leads Indianapolis Cardinal Ritter, the Ritter Raiders of Indianapolis, 8-0. Gordon's up over North Harrison 18-5. West Washington has taken a halftime lead of 20-0 over Mitchell. Paoli Springs Valley shows 0-0. Floyd's up over Silver Creek 30-7. And that's about all I got.
In the college world, I have James Madison up over the University of Louisville Cardinals 7-3. Let's see, what else do I have here? I have Springs Valley up over Paoli 28-14.
Okay.
Still no score update from Switzerland County Clarksville. That still says 0-0. Did you say Madison and Charlestown?
I did not. I left that one for you.
Madison is trailing Charlestown 7-14.
A low-scoring game over there.
You said Brownstown, correct?
I did. 42-0. Yeah, what you got? Again, Brownstown's up on a much bigger school, 42-0. That's pretty impressive for them.
Which is who the Lions will play next week is the Brownstown Braves.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough matchup here for the Lions.
On the road at Brownstown.
Yeah, but really, is there anything... Zach, go ahead and give us some unofficial stats real quick.
Let's see here. Peyton Shockey, 4 carries for 5 yards. Logan Dent, 11 carries for 43 yards. Moore, 7 carries for 15 yards. And Braxton has 4 carries for 13 yards, and throwing the ball, Braxton is 3 for 4, 48 passing yards, and an interception. Scottsburg, let's see, Chuck has 3 carries for 5 yards, which is incredible to say.
He really hasn't been much in this game, period. He did have 1 reception, which I'm sure you'll go over. Other than that, he really hasn't done much.
And Bird has 4 carries for 18 yards, 2 for 5 passing, 52 yards, and a touchdown. And of those 52 yards, 34 came off the touchdown pass.
Yeah, and 2 of those incompletions that he's thrown has just been one his receiver quit running, and one his receiver just dropped in the middle of the field.
Yep. But for now, 12 minutes is on the board. Lions are down 14-6, and the kick is away.
It's a deep kick from Blake Applegate, fielded at the 21-yard line. That is going to be returned around the right side. He's got a hole to run through, and he's across the 40, he's across the 50, across 45 before he is brought down pretty aggressively from Braxton Dean, but not before he makes his way across the Lions' 45-yard line down to the 43. So the Warriors will set up with great field position here, 1st and 10 on the Lions' 43-yard line. Like Zach said, we've got 11:52 to go on the clock here, and we are ready for this second half of Week 3 IHSAA football action here. The Lions host tonight the Scottsburg Warriors at Jim Ralston Field at Paul A. Graves Athletic Stadium, and the Warriors' offense is quickly to the line here. Bird is in pistol, Shuck behind him, 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left.
The Chargers are beating the Chiefs right now, 7-0.
Good. There's the snap to Bird. He hands off the middle to Shuck. He runs around the right side. He's across the 40, and the Lions are fighting for the ball. The ball did come out, but he was down, and I think Shuck might be a little slow to get up. Nope, he just had a line on him. So that is going to be a 4-yard pickup on 1st down for Landon Shuck, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6 now for the Warriors here at the Lions' 39-yard line, and they are quickly again back to the line.
That was a long 4 yards.
Yes, it was.
That took forever.
Bird back in pistol, Shuck behind him, 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. There is the snap to Bird. He hands off to Shuck again, and he runs up the middle before he is hit hard by the Lions' defense. He does pick up 4 yards down to the 35-yard line, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 2 now for the Lions, or for the Warriors offense. And we talked about it. Shuck didn't do much in the first half. He only had 3 carries, and he's already got 2 here with 8 yards in the second half.
I have Braxton Dean and Peyton Shockey in on that last tackle.
Yep, I believe you were correct. Scottsburg back to the line, pistol formation. Bird with Shuck behind him. There's a snap. Hand off to Shuck, and he is met in the backfield by the Lions defense. And there's a flag on the play. I'm not sure what it's for, but it is going to be, for the moment, a stoppage. And there's 2 Lions defenders just laying down in the middle of the field. I'm not sure what's going on there. But they are up. They're not hurt. But that's going to be a face mask, I believe, on the Lions.
There was a whole pride of Lions on that tackle.
No, hold on. Let's see what happens here. Personal foul, face mask on the Lions. So that's going to move the ball forward and give the Warriors a 1st down. And, sometimes in a group of tacklers like that, somebody might get their hand a little high and grab the face mask. So that will take away the Shuck run and give them a 1st down on a 15-yard face mask. So the Warriors will have the ball now 1st and 10 on the Lions' 20-yard line. And it was a great defensive play from the Lions, but somebody got their hand too high and unfortunately grabbed the face mask of Shuck.
One of the weirdest stats I can say about this game so far is right now, this will be the 14th play that the Scottsburg offense has ran tonight.
Yep. They are back to the line. Bird in pistol, Shuck behind him, 2 wide to the right. There's a snap, hand off to Shucker on the right side, who cuts back across the middle. Great tackle by Peyton Shockey in the open field there, but Shuck does make his way down to the 18, 17-yard line of the Lions. Let's see. Okay, now they're moving the ball around. We got refs in different spots again. Down to the 16, so it's going to be a 4-yard pickup for Landon Shuck there on 1st down. So 2nd and 6, and I'm guessing Scottsburg at halftime decided they needed to establish the run with Shuck, and that's exactly what they're doing for the moment.
They couldn't get a passing game going in the first half.
Bird back in pistol, Shuck behind him. There's a snap to Bird. He hands off to Shuck, who breaks the tackle in the backfield, but Bryden Stafford does recover from the missed tackle. He wraps up Shuck's legs, That's also going to be Braxton Dean in on that tackle, so that is going to drop Shuck for a loss of 1 there. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 7 now for the Warrior offense here on the Lions' 17-yard line. Already under 9.5 minutes to go. Warriors lead 14-6. Warriors are getting their play call in from the sideline. 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. Bird in pistol with Shuck lined up behind him.
I would expect a play-action pass.
There is the snap. Bird drops back. It's just going to be a straight drop. He throws it across the middle to number 7, and the play's intercepted. And intercepted by Braxton Dean in the end zone. He's down the right sideline. He's across the 20. He's across the 25, across the 30. And he's going to run out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Great defensive play from the cornerback there, and that was Lenny Wynn breaking up the pass. Hits the ball into Braxton Dean's hands there, and it was intercepted in the end zone and returned to the 36-yard line. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 now for the Lions offense. Huge defensive play there from Lenny Wynn and Braxton Dean. Lenny got beat earlier on a deep ball, and he said not today this time. So it's 1st and 10 now for the Lions offense on the 36-yard line.
I think that interception was a huge momentum swinger here in the second half. It's getting the Salem crowd riled up.
Oh, yeah.
The Salem players riled up.
So Braxton Dean still in at quarterback with Karis Moore and Logan Dent in the backfield behind him. There is the Lions set, and there is the snap. It's going to be a toss around the right side to Dent, who cuts back across the middle. Doesn't have anywhere to go. He's going to be stacked up after gaining a yard, I believe. So it's going to be a 1-yard pickup for Logan Dent there on 1st down and bring up 2nd and 9 for the Lions on their own 37-yard line.
Going back to the Salem defense, one thing I think we've really done great in the first half was not allowing them to get a pass off. Not saying they haven't got a pass off. They've
not get a clean pass off.
They've forced him to scramble almost every play.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, he had the receiver that time, but Lenny Wynn made a great play behind the receiver to break up that pass play. 2nd and 9 now for the Lions on their own 37-yard line. Dean under center with Moore and Shockey in the backfield. There's a snap. It's going to be a toss to the left to Shockey. He cuts back up across the middle. He's going to meet Garrett Bowling about the 39-yard line, and Shockey is going to get pushed forward for another 3 yards down to about the 42-yard line. So that's going to be about a 5-yard pickup there for Peyton Shockey, and he's a little guy, but he runs hard. And that Lions offensive line has given the running backs great pushes once they get stacked up. So it is 3rd and 4 now for the Lions here on their own 42-yard line.
One of the trends I've noticed in this game, Brandon, is the line for Salem is speed and the line for Scottsburg is power.
Yep. Dean back under center with Moore and Dent in the backfield behind him. Lions offense is set. There's a snap. It's going to be a toss around the right side to Karis Moore. He's trying to get to the edge, and he's going to run into a wall of Scottsburg defenders, and he is going to be drugged backwards. His forward progress is going to keep him at the line of scrimmage, I believe. So it's going to be a 0-yard pickup there for Karis Moore, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 4 now for the Lions offense, and that was just a great defensive play there from the Warriors.
Like we said, whenever your job is to set the edge, it's one of the harder jobs to do on defense, but it's one of the most rewarding jobs to do on defense.
Anytime you run a toss play, you want to get your athletes to the sideline, but Scottsburg was not going to let that happen. He didn't have anywhere to cut back to. Again, just a great play there from Scottsburg. 4th and 4 now for the Lions. Let's see what they've got with Dean under center and Karis Moore, the lone back in the backfield. Dent's in motion. There's a snap fake toss to Dent. Dean's rolling to his right, and he's got some room to run, and he's going to run for it, and he's going to pick it up before he's pushed out of bounds, and that's going to be about a 7-yard pickup there for Braxton Dean on the quarterback keeper down to the 49-yard line of the Lions. So it's going to give the Lions a new set of downs at their own 49 here.
Are you surprised we went for it on 4th down given where we were down at?
You can't not. You have to.
You're getting into 4-down territory.
You have to right there. You know, you're down 8 points with 6 minutes to go here, 6:45 to go here in the third quarter. You got to go for it there. So the Lions offense is back to line. Dean under center with Dent and Moore in the backfield. Lenny Wynn on the near side on the receiver. There is the Lions offense getting set, and there's the snap to Braxton. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Dent, who drops the ball, and I think he jumped on it again. So that's going to be another fumble forward for a yard. Logan Dent's had 2 yards on fumble recoveries today. That he fumbled his own ball. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 9 now for the Lions at the 50-yard line.
And Shockey bringing the play into the Lions.
The Lions offense, you know, Logan Dent's kind of gotten lucky on that.
Twice.
He's fumbled the ball past the line of scrimmage and somehow recovered it himself. So the Lions offense comes back to the line with Dean under center, Moore and Dent in the backfield. The near receiver is Peyton Shockey. The far receiver is Lenny Wynn. There's a snap. It's going to be a toss to the left to Karis Moore, who's getting to the edge. There's going to be a holding call on the Lions. And Karis Moore just got lit up by Garrett Bowling at the 50-yard line. That is going to set them back 10 yards if Scottsburg elects to, but with it being 3rd and 9, they may not.
This is a situational thing here for Scottsburg. I see both sides of it.
If they decline the penalty, it's 3rd and 9. If they accept the penalty, it's 2nd and 19. The ball's either at the 50 or the Lions' own 40. And it looks like they're going to decline the penalty, so that's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Lions here on the 50-yard line. Let's see if that decision pays off for Coach Mullins of the Warriors. And the way his defense is playing right now, I kind of like it.
Scottsburg's defense made some adjustments there at halftime.
So 3rd and 9 now for the Lions at the 50-yard line. Dean under center. That's Dent in motion. There's a snap. It's going to be a fake toss to Dent. Dean rolls to his right, and he doesn't have anywhere to throw the ball. And he's going to be wrapped up just past the line of scrimmage again by number 9, Garrett Bowling. And that kid is all over the place tonight. No, that was number 0, actually. Number 0, Joshua Thomas. We haven't called his name yet, but great play from him there. So that's going to be a 2-yard pickup, 3-yard pickup for Braxton Dean on the quarterback keeper. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 6 now for the Lions on the Scottsburg 47-yard line.
The Scottsburg secondary did a good job staying with their man there on that pass.
They knew that was a pass. Absolutely. So Dean in gun now with Dent on his right. 2 wide receivers here on the near side. There's a snap to Dean. He fakes the handoff to Dent, looks back to throw. He's got Dent on a wide and throws it way over his head by about 5 yards. So that's going to be a turnover on downs there for the Lions. And the Warriors are going to take over again in good field position here. They have the ball at their own 47-yard line.
It's hard to, or it's kind of a letdown whenever you take the ball away the way Salem did on that last drive on the interception, and you don't come up with any points.
Yeah, that was not a great offensive drive there for Lions, but the Scottsburg defense, that's definitely the best they've looked tonight.
By far.
So the Warriors are quickly to the line on offense here. 2 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right. Bird is in pistol with Shuck lined behind him.
They have Bowling lined up as a receiver.
I'm going to say one key person to look here is Garrett Bowling. Shuck's going to fake the handoff from Bird. He's going to run. Bird's going to keep it himself, running around the left side. He's going to pick up about 7 yards. So that's going to be a 7-yard carry there for Nathan Bird on first down across the 50 down to the Lions 46. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 3 now for the what is that?
Warriors.
The Warriors. I'm getting all kinds of lost here, Zach. Help me.
You need more than help, man.
Yeah. Bird in pistol with Shuck behind him. 2 wide to the right. 2 wide to the left. There's the snap to Bird. He's going to run the option again. Hand off to Shuck up the middle. Shuck's going to get his way forward for 2 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and 1 now for the Warriors here on the Lions' 44-yard line. And we've seen a lot of that, that just read option there for the Warriors, and they played it well that time.
That's about all they've been running.
Scottsburg's lining up for the tush push here. There's the snap, and they are going to push Bird across the first down marker. It's going to be, a 2 or a 3-yard pickup here.
It's a first down regardless.
Yes, it is. They needed 1. They got more than that, that's for sure. It's going to be a 2-yard pickup there for the Warriors on the tush push. So it is now 1st and 10 for the Warriors on the Lions' 42-yard line. Bird's back in pistol with Shuck behind him. 2 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. Again,
Senior Aiden Taylor just subbed in for the Lions defense.
I want to mention that Garrett Bowling's over here one-on-one. Bird takes the snap. He takes the handoff to Shuck, and he's around the left side. Great play there from Braxton Dean from linebacker position to stack up Nathan Bird. And there was some extracurriculars, but they did not throw it there.
There was also some extracurriculars on Shuck, too. There was 2 Lions players laying on top of him.
Great defensive play there from the Lions, and that was going to be, I believe, Ethan Campbell. No, that may not have been Braxton Dean, actually. They're going to credit Bird with a 3-yard pickup there, so it's going to be 2nd and 7 now at the 39-yard line of the Lions, and Bird is still in pistol with Shuck behind him. 2 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left.
About all they've ran is read option this drive.
Got Matthew Wicke and Garrett Bowling here to the right. I look for that to be the way they throw. There's a snap. Bird looks to his left, looks back to his right to exactly what we called, and Bird's going to keep it, run over Braxton Dean at the 30-yard line, and he's going to fight his way forward for 3 extra yards down to the 27-yard line. That is going to be a 12-yard pickup there for Nathan Bird on 2nd and 7.
That hit was so hard about made me flinch up here.
Yeah, Nathan Bird just lowered it. You know, most quarterbacks don't hit somebody, but they're taking Bird out. That's an interesting thing here.
They have subbed in as number 6,
Braylon Kleehammer. He is a 6'1 senior, 6'1", 235. Look to this to be a run play, probably. Kleehammer in pistol with 2 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. There's a snap. He's going to run the option with Shuck, and great defensive play there from Lions, and they've got a Warrior defender under the back of Shuck, but he looks to be okay. I think it hurt him a little bit, but he seems all right. So it's going to be a 1-yard pickup there for Landon Shuck on first down. That's going to bring up 2nd and 9 now for the Warriors. I don't know if they just wanted to talk to Bird or what, but they have put him back in.
He had his helmet off there for a play. I'm not quite sure what was going on there.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Maybe they just want to talk to him. Bird in pistol with Shuck behind him, 3 wide, trips formation to the left, 1 ride to the right. That's Garrett Bowling. There's a snap to Bird. He looks left. He throws it across, deep ball down the middle, and it's going to be over the head of the receiver. And it was a catchable ball. He just, again, it looked like they miscommunication on the route there from Bird to the receiver. That intended receiver, I believe, was Luke Hamilton.
Yep, number 3.
Yep, number 3, Luke Hamilton there in the end zone. He had the defender beat. He just overthrew him by a little bit. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 now for the Warriors offense at the Lions' 26-yard line. Bird sends Matthew Wicke to the left. He's in pistol with Landon Shuck behind him. Trips left, single receiver to the right. That's Garrett Bowling. There's a snap, quick pass to Matthew Wicke at the 20. He catches it and gets around the left side of the Lions defense, and he has some room to run now. He's across the 10, across the 5, and he dives into the end zone. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 3-yard line. So that was a touchdown-saving step out of bounds there by Matthew Wicke. We have not seen a short pass from the Warriors tonight, but that is what we saw last year from them the entire game.
What number is Wicke?
Number 1. So that is going to bring up now 1st and goal at the 2, and they're in tush-push formation, and there's the snap to Bird, and it's a fumbled snap, and it looks like Scottsburg jumped on it.
How long was that pass play there?
They were at the, 6?
Yeah. 26.
And they got down to the 2, so 24 yards. So Scottsburg tried to run the tush-push. It did not work. They did lose a yard there. So the Warrior offense is back to their normal formation. Nope, they're under center in a power right formation.
Haven't seen that tonight.
That's Joshua Thomas and Landon Shuck in the backfield behind Bird. Snap to Bird, handoff to Shuck, and he fumbled. It's a forced fumble by DJ Ward at the 5-yard line. The ball bounced forward and was recovered by the Lions defense, and that is going to be 1st and 10 Lions on their own 2-yard line here.
Second time on back-to-back drives, the Lions defense comes up strong on a bend-but-don't-break situation.
It's hard to run your offense when your mesh gets blown up in the backfield, and that's exactly what DJ Ward did there. He flew into the backfield, slapped a hand in there on the ball, and Landon Shuck didn't really have an option but to let go of it. So it's going to give the Lions 1st and 10 here on their own 2-yard line.
DJ Ward is playing lights out tonight.
Yes, he is. They come to the line. Braxton Dean under center with Dent and Moore in the backfield. There's a snap. QB sneak with Braxton, and he is
being driven backwards.
Stopped immediately and drugged backwards. They're going to give him or is the ball at the 3? The ball was at the 3, not the 2. It looked like it was at the 3.
That's a gain of nothing.
Gain of 0, so it's going to be 2nd and 9. Nope, gain of 1. 2nd and 9 now from the Lions' own 4-yard line. This is where that Scottsburg defense being big will excel.
Yeah.
Because you can't get too fancy out of the end zone, and they are big up front and in the middle.
Like I said, this is speed versus power.
Yep. Dean brings his team to the line. Flexbone formation for the Lions. Dean's under center. That's Logan Dent in motion. There's a snap to the toss to the left to Logan Dent, and he is stopped immediately in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 2 there for the Lions offense. So that's going to set them back to the 2-yard line. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 11 now for the Lions, and at this point, you just got to try to get out of the end zone.
Yes, the key to this is don't let up a safety.
Hand the ball off and get your punter out of the end zone.
It is still a one-score game.
There is 23 seconds to go here on the game clock, but there's 17 on the play clock, so we will have a snap. Actually, we're going to have a stoppage of time by the Lions, so we will be back after a short commercial break to see what the Lions offense has planned here on 3rd and 11.
The pizza makers over at Papa John's are cooking up something pretty crustworthy. The new garlic 5-cheese crust. This one is for the crust lovers, the cheese chasers, and those garlic fanatics. It's loud, it's rich, it's straight up delicious. They start by hand-stretching Papa John's original dough made with 6 simple ingredients, brushing it with garlic parm sauce, and adding 5 bold melty cheeses. It's cheesy garlic bread meets pizza. Order the new garlic 5-cheese crust today. Call Reese at 812-883-3369 for pickup or delivery, or order online to collect your Papa Rewards. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
And we are back here at Paul A. Graves Athletic Stadium at Jim Ralston Field, where the game clock shows 18.9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Warriors lead the Lions 14-6. The Lions have the ball 3rd and 11 on their own 2-yard line here. And we talked about it before the break, but at this point, just get your punter out of the end zone.
Yes, that's all you want. You cannot give up a safety here. It is still a one-possession game, 16-14.
Dean is under center. Moore's in the backfield. Dent's in motion. There's a snap. It's going to be a fake toss to Dent. And Braxton's getting chased, and he got unloaded on in the end zone. And if that is if that is a intentional grounding, that is a safety.
They didn't throw a flag. They're sending in the punting unit.
They're talking about it. Hang on. The refs are talking about here. There was not a single wide receiver in that area, and if that is intentional ground, that is going to be a safety, as he was in the end zone when it happened. So they're talking about it here. Let's see what they decide.
All the officials here.
Here comes the other official sprinting in, and
I want to know what it is.
They are going to throw it, so that is going to be an intentional grounding on Braxton Dean, and that is going to be a safety on the Lions. And I just pulled Zach's earpiece out of his ear. I don't know what's going on here. Everything's tangled up. But that will be a safety, so that's going to extend the lead for the Warriors as to 16-6. And, either way, you're taking a safety there. So, unfortunately, that was just kind of the situation. We called the pass play. We had the rush, and the offensive line just did not hold them very well. And when Braxton let go of the ball, there was not a receiver anywhere near the ball where it went. So since Braxton was in the end zone when the foul occurred, that is a safety. So we will see a safety punt.
I think
No, it's a kickoff, right?
It's a punt.
I think it's a kickoff in high school. I think it's a kickoff from the 20.
I think the most crucial part to that is it now makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, that is, and you're giving the Scottsburg offense the ball back, and they've been moving the ball well. Unfortunately, they just keep shooting themselves in the foot with turnovers. What's the score of the Chiefs game?
It's still 7-0 Chargers with 40 seconds in the first.
Good.
Chargers with the ball.
I hope the Chargers win by 40.
Yeah.
So it is a kickoff from the 20-yard line here. So the Warriors, either way, are going to get the ball in great field position.
I have Switzerland County is up over Clarksville, 35-0.
Oh, wow. Switzerland County is pretty good this year.
They are in our sectional, too.
Last year we talked about it. That would have been a good team to draw. By the way, speaking of safeties, Jennings County is up over Eastern, 14-2. So Applegate is in for the safety kickoff from the 20-yard line.
Cordon's up 15-18 over North Harrison.
Applegate kicks it. It's a low kick on the ground, and there is going to be an offsides on the Lions, so that's going to move them back 5-yard line. So now they're going to be kicking from the 15-yard line.
Kickoffs are just weird tonight, man.
It may be one of those situations where the refs haven't been calling it this year, and they are going to this time.
Up there in Indy, they're probably getting on to him for it.
Yeah, they very well could be. Also not a false start. It's definitely called offside. So,
I think it's like illegal procedure or something.
Yeah.
There's an official definition.
So Applegate now will kick again from the 15-yard line.
U of L's trailing 6-7 against James Madison.
It's kind of surprising. U of L played really well last week. So Applegate set to kick from the 15-yard line now, and he's going to kick it again. It's a low kick on the ground. It's going to be fielded at the 45, and he's going to run around the left side, get stood up and tackled at the 30. So the Warriors offense will start 1st and 10 on the Lions' 30-yard line. We got 7.5 seconds to go here before the end of the third quarter, and the Warriors lead the Lions 16-6.
This has been a fast third quarter, Brandon.
Yes, it has. Scottsburg just pretty much ran the ball, finally. The Lions got it back. They just ran the ball, so there really hasn't been a reason to stop the clock yet. So Bird breaks the huddle, comes to the line, trips right for the Warriors with one single receiver on the left. That is Garrett Bowling over there by himself. That is a name to look out for. Bird in pistol with Shuck behind him. There's a snap to Bird, and he's just going to hand off to Shuck, and he is chased down from behind by Bryden Stafford, and that is going to be a loss of 2 yards there for the Warriors. That's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter, where Zach and I will take a short commercial break, and we will be back for the fourth quarter.
The Campbellsburg Country Festival is back and ready for its 31st season on Friday and Saturday, September 12th and 13th in Campbellsburg, Indiana. Come out and try a variety of food vendors, craft booths, and a weekend of down-home fun. The festival kicks off with the Miss Country Girl pageant on Sunday, September 7th at 3 p.m. at West Washington High School. Events on September 12th include the annual town-wide yard sales throughout the day and opening ceremonies with live music from the Little Mountain Band at 5 p.m. and the Monarchs at 7 p.m. On Saturdays, there is a 5K and pancake breakfast to get things underway, followed by a baking contest, antique farm machinery show, Little Mr. and Miss contest at noon, Silly Safari at 11 a.m., and a parade at 2 p.m. There will be food vendors, plenty of activities for the kids, live music, and fireworks to close out the day at 9 p.m. For more information, contact Whitley Clements on Facebook or see the festival Facebook page for more information about entering the different contests. All roads in southern Indiana lead to Campbellsburg on September 12th and 13th for the 31st Campbellsburg Country Festival.
And we are back, and Bird is in pistol, 3 wide to the right, and there's that. Bird drops back to throw. He's getting chased by DJ Ward out of the backfield, and he's just going to throw it out of bounds, but there was a receiver in the area, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 12 now for the Warriors, and Romero's slow to get up after that play there. He's been out with an injury all year, so that's not something you want to see there.
They had DJ Ward there creeping in, and he went full throttle to the quarterback.
Yep. So the Scottsburg offense faces a 3rd and 12 on the Lions' 32-yard line. Trips right, one receiver to the left. There's a snap to Bird. Bird drops back to throw. He's getting chased. It's a screen pass to Shuck around the left side. He's got some blockers ahead of him and room to run. He's across the 25, across the 20. He's across the 15-yard line, and that is where they're going to mark it down at the 15. So that is going to be a 17-yard pickup on the screen pass there to Landon Shuck, and that's going to be a 1st and 10 Warriors on the Lions' 15-yard line. And that's the second time we've seen him run that play, and that's the second time it's with big.
Yeah, the first time they ran it went for 18, and that one went to 50.
Now, I think the first one got called back. Is that no? It
didn't. The screen pass, if you can work it beautifully, it becomes a beautiful play.
Bird in pistol. There's the snap. Bird drops back to throw. He's looking to his right, and he doesn't have anywhere to throw. He's got some great blocking. He's going to float one to the 7-yard line to number 3, and that's going to be Hamilton, and he is going to fight his way into the end zone. So that is going to be a 15-yard pitch and catch from Nathan Bird to number 3, Luke Hamilton, and that is going to extend the Warrior lead to 22-6, pending the extra point here with 11 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. A couple score updates while we're waiting here is Switzerland County is taking a 41-0 lead over Clarksville. West Washington still 20-0 at the end of the third.
West Washington lead, yep.
And Jennings County 14-2 over Pekin. Scottsburg in for the PAT. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it looks good, and it is. So that's going to be a 23-6 lead here for the Warriors with 11:17 to go in the fourth quarter. The Lions trail They will be on kickoff return here coming out of this break, and I think we're just going to stay here because the Scottsburg kickoff team's already on the field. Not a single person on their PAT is on their kickoff except their kicker.
That's crazy.
That is kind of wild to think about. You know, back they started a program 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And they have two completely different teams for PAT versus kickoff, which is very rare.
Well, I remember when we played, essentially your PAT team was your kickoff
That's
team.
what I'm saying. So this is very interesting to see. I was wondering how they were getting out so fast. That would be why. So the Scottsburg kickoff team is ready. They've got 6 on one side, 4 on the other. That makes 10, and the kicker makes 11.
That last score was due to the intentional grounding safety.
Yeah, that did not help, that's for sure. So the kicker for the Warriors is Tucker Doriot. He is ready to kick off for the Warriors. Back deep to receive, number 8, Braxton Dean, and number 3, Peyton Shockey, two very dangerous returnmen back there.
What makes it even worse is a 3-score game now.
Yes.
With 11:17 remaining in this ball game.
Doriot kicks it deep. It's going to be fielded by Peyton Shockey at the 20-yard line. He is going to run up the middle, and he has nowhere to go, and he is brought down very aggressively by the face mask. And there's some extracurriculars there, but they're not going to throw that one. They did throw the face mask, so that's going to add 15 onto the run.
Oh, my God.
That was a very aggressive face mask.
They literally threw him across the field.
Yeah, Peyton Shockey's not very big, so when two people are full speed and one's much bigger and he grabs the face mask of the other, it is going to sling one of them, and that was Peyton Shockey, and he got flung, like flew through the air.
Literally.
Personal foul, face mask on the Warriors, so that's going to set the Lions up 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
That is the first penalty of the second half for the Warriors.
How many penalties has there been in this game?
There has been 6 on the Warriors for 70 yards, and there has been 7 on the Lions for 55 yards.
Does that include the offsides on the kickoffs?
No.
So we've had 3 extra penalties.
Yes, that does include the offsides.
Okay, does that include the illegal kicks?
No.
Okay, there's 2 extra penalties.
Yes.
Yeah. 1st and 10 for the Lions here on the 46-yard line. Dean under center with Dent and Moore in the backfield. Shockey's in motion. There's a snap. And toss around the right side to Dent, who cuts around the left side. He gets tripped up at the 49. Crosses the 50, gets tripped up at the 49. Falls his way forward down to the 47. So that is going to be a 7-yard pickup there for Logan Dent on 1st and 10. Remember, it's 2nd and 3 now for the Lions here on the Warrior 47-yard line.
10:45 remain in this ball game. 23-6 Warriors.
Dean under center, Dent and Moore in the backfield. Waylon Foster on the near side here at receiver. There's a snap to Dean. He tosses it around the right side to Karis Moore. He cuts it upfield. He gets the first down. He does pick up 5. So that is going to be a 5-yard pickup for Karis Moore down to the Warrior 42-yard line. Nope, 43-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup.
You have to appreciate on that run by Karis the way when he got the ball, he cut and got vertical with his run.
He got north and south instead of east and west and got the first down.
And his acceleration was good on that play.
So 1st and 10 now for the Lions on the Warrior 43. Dean's under center, Moore the lone back in the backfield, flex bone formation for the Lions. Dent's in motion. There's a snap, fake toss to Dent around the right side. Braxton's going to keep it himself, and he is going to get met, but he breaks the arm tackle, and he is going to get blown up, and that's going to add 15 on to the end of the run. Yep, there's the flag for it, and that's just a stupid mistake there by the Warriors, and it was already a 5-yard pickup, so let's make it a 20-yard play total with the 15 extra for the flag. And this is what we talked about, if the game gets chippy, you got to stay smart. Your quarterback just got smoked out of bounds, and nobody said anything about it, so that's usually a good thing for the Lions.
He was off of the white onto the black on the sidelines before he got hit.
So that was a 6-yard pickup. Does that still count in the stats? Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure it does because it was a dead ball foul.
Yeah, because they're tacking on from the run.
Yep, so it was a 6-yard pickup there for Braxton Dean on the quarterback keeper. Let's add on 15 for the penalty. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Lions on the Warrior 21-yard line. And the Lions are back to the line with Braxton Dean under center, Moore in the backfield, the lone back with Logan Dent, the slot back. Logan Dent's in motion, a snap, fake handoff to Karras. They toss it around the right side to Dent, who breaks the tackle in the backfield and fights his way across the 15 down to the 12-yard line. So that is going to be a 9-yard pickup there for Logan Dent on first down. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1 for the Lions offense.
This game's still within reach, Brandon, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
A quick score.
You just got to get a defensive stop.
Exactly.
Scottsburg's going to come out, try to control the clock. You got to stop their run game. So Dean breaks the huddle, comes back to the line. Karras Moore, the lone back once again. Flex zone formation for the Lions, 2 slots. Dent's in motion. There's a snap, handoff to Moore, and it gets blown up immediately, and I bet I know by who. That is number 9, Garrett Bowling in the backfield for a loss of 2 yards there on the Karras Moore run. And, you know, Karras didn't do anything wrong there except take the handoff, which is what he was told to do, but he got blown up immediately by Garrett Bowling. And that's going to be a loss of 2, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 3 now for the Lions. And Dean breaks the huddle, comes back to the line. Moore and Dent in the backfield, 2-back set. Wide receiver over here is Lenny Wynn. Far side is Waylon Foster. Has a snap toss around the left side to Dent, and he is met quickly. I don't know that he got the first down.
He did.
So that's going to bring up it's going to be a 2-yard pickup there for Logan Dent, and that is going to bring up a 4th and 1 now for the Lions here on the Warrior 12-yard line. They need 1 for the first down. Let's see what Coach Pennington has called here.
And it's a long 1-yard line.
It is a long 1-yard line. Scottsburg defense looks to make the stop here. 8:15 to go here in the 4th quarter. Dean under center, Moore the lone back. Dent's in motion. There's a snap. It's going to be tossed around the right side to Dent, who does, let's see where they mark it.
He fought hard.
If he's at the 12. If they've got it where he's marked now, it is a turnover on down, and I think it's going to be. Yep, so it's going to be a turnover on downs, a big stop from the Warriors' defense there, and Dent tried to fight for it, but I think he went down just a second early from what would have got him the first down, and the Warriors are going to take over 1st and 10 here on their own 13-yard line.
8:02 remain in this ball game. 23-6 Warriors over the Lions. It's crucial the Lions get a stop here deep in Warrior territory.
And you got to get one quick.
Yes.
Bird in pistol, Shuck behind him, 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. Bird's getting his team set. There's the snap, and it's going to be a handoff to Shuck around the right side, who gets around the defense, and he gets across the 15 down to the 19. So that's going to be a 6-yard pickup from Landon Shuck on first down. We didn't really call his name much in the first half, but we have called it a lot here in the second half. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 now for the Lions defense, or for the Lions defense against the Warriors offense.
7:35 remain here in this ball game. Still 23-6 Warriors.
Bird in pistol, Shuck behind him, 2 wide on the near side, 2 wide on the far side. Snap, handoff to Shuck, and he's got the ball. He's running around the left side, and he is across the 25, and I think they're going to give him the 26.
Yep.
That is going to be enough for a first down. It's going to be an 8-yard pickup. Nope, they're going to mark him at the 25, so it's going to be a 7-yard pickup. But either way, it's good enough for a first down.
If I were to guess, Brandon, I say it's going to be a lot of Landon Shuck this last 7 minutes.
I bet we see one Nathan Bird pull, and I think it's going to be a big play because I think they're going to get so used to Shuck running the ball. Bird in pistol, Shuck behind him, 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. There's a snap, and handoff to Shuck, who cuts it back across the middle. He's across the 30 down to the 31, 30? They're going to keep him at the 30?
Yeah, they have him at the...
Might have been a questionable spot. So it's going to be a 5-yard pickup there for Landon Shuck. Going to bring up 2nd and 5. Warriors have it on their own 30.
6.5 remain in this ball game.
2 wide to the left here for the Warriors. 1 wide to the right. Bird's going to be in pistol with Shuck behind him. There's a snap to Bird, and it's going to be a handoff to Shuck, and he's got some room around the left side. He's across the 35, he's across the 40, he's across the 45, and he's going to be brought down at the 49-yard line. So that is going to be a 19-yard pickup there, 18-yard pickup there for Landon Shuck on 2nd and 5. Going to give the Warriors a new set of downs here.
Shuck has now reached 50 yards rushing tonight, exactly.
I'm surprised it took this long.
14 attempts.
I'm surprised it took this long. Got 3.5 yards per carry?
3.6.
I was way off.
Totally.
Scottsburg back to the line, 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. Bird in pistol with Shuck behind him.
5:45 remain.
There's a snap to Bird, and it's a quick pass to number 7 here on the near sideline. He's across the 45, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds at the 49-yard line. So that is going to be, there's a flag on the play. While the refs are sorting this out, and Zach watches what they're calling, the Chargers have taken a 10-0 lead over the Chiefs. Jennings County has taken a 27-2 lead over Eastern.
Still waiting on the call from the officials.
It looks like it's going to be on Scottsburg. Maybe. Not real sure.
Still waiting on the officials. Still waiting on the officials. 5:41 remain, 23-6, Warriors over the Lions.
I think it's going to add on to whatever the end of the run was. Personal foul against Scottsburg.
There has been several personal fouls this game.
Don't know what it's for, but it's a personal foul on Scottsburg.
Maybe something was said or something.
I don't know. There's a lot of, well, that would be unsportsmanlike, right?
Well, yeah. So
there's a lot of different personal fouls. At this point, just pick one.
Is it 15 yards?
Well, it depends on what it was. Yep. So that's going to bring up a 1st and 13 now for the Warriors. Not sure what the personal foul was for. Personal foul on Scottsburg. That's it.
We're as curious as you are.
No, that'll bring up 2nd down because it was downfield. So it'll be 2nd and 18 now for the Warriors here back on their own 40-yard line.
The box on the sidelines doesn't match the scoreboard.
No, it is 2nd down, though. 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. Bird in pistol with Shuck behind him, and the refs are going to blow it dead because the box is not correct. Yep, so they need to fix the down marker.
5:40 remain.
The ref over there has no idea what they're talking about. Everybody's pointing at the ref, and he don't know what they're talking about, apparently. Wait.
They still don't know what's going on.
Nope. Okay, well, they still have... Yep. No, this ref still... Okay. Can we get the box changed, please? The 2nd down. Let's get the box changed.
Refs are discussing.
Should be 2nd down. Xavier Worthy got hurt.
Really?
Yep, he collided with Travis Kelsey.
Man, that's tough.
Nope, still 1st down. Not real sure here. Anyway, it is some down and 18 yards to go. Bird in gun now is Shuck to his right. There's a snap to Bird. It's going to be a handoff to Shuck, and he's across the 40, across the 45, cuts it back, and he is spun down at the 49-yard line. So that is going to be a 9-yard pickup there for Landon Shuck on 1st or 2nd down, one of the two. And that's going to put the Warriors at the 49, their own 49-yard line now.
Shuck's carried the ball 15
so
times.
So now it's 2nd down, so it stayed 1st down.
Shuck has carried the ball 15 times this game. 12 of them have been in the 2nd half.
Yep. Warriors are just trying to burn clock here. Got 5:10 to go in the 4th. They lead 23-6 over the Lions. Bird back in pistol. 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. There's a snap to Bird. He drops back looking to throw. And they're looking to take a shot deep, and he does. And it's going to go into the hands of the Lions at the 25-yard line. And he is going to fall his way backwards. There's going to be a flag on DJ Ward here in the middle of the field, I believe, for an extracurricular.
The interception was by Waylon Foster.
The interception was by Waylon Foster. They're going to take that 15 yards from where the Lions have it now. They have it at the 24, so they're going to get it at the 9. It's going to be unsportsmanlike over here, I believe, on DJ Ward. Personal foul, dead ball. Oh, it's on Salem. Okay. So that's going to bring up 15 yards there. So that's going to take the Lions from the 24 back to the 9.
What did they call it? Unsportsmanlike?
They called it dead ball personal foul.
Personal foul?
Yeah. So the Lions will take over at the 11.
I believe this has been the most penalties Salem's had in a game all season.
I don't think the refs did the math correctly there. That's for sure.
This is the 8th flag on the Lions. Well, 9th if you count the kick.
So 4:55 to go here. The Lions take over 1st and 10 on their own 11-yard line here. And Dean is under center with Dent and Moore in the backfield. There's a snap to Braxton. He's going to toss around the left side to Karis Moore, who's got some room to run around the left edge. He's going to be pushed out of bounds by Garrett Bowling at the 17-yard line. So it's going to be a 5-yard pickup.
They kept the clock running.
I'm not sure how that works. But it's going to be 2nd and 5 now for the Lions here. It was a 5-yard pickup there by Karis Moore on 1st down. They have 2nd and 5 at their own 17. Lions break the huddle, come to the line. 4:40 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Salem needs to score fast.
Braxton's in gun now with Logan Dent on his right side. There's the snap to Braxton. He's rolling to his right. It's just going to be a quarterback run. And he's going to get to the edge, and he is going to be swung out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So he's going to pick up 3 yards before he is thrown out of bounds. So that is going to bring up a 3rd and 2 now for the Lions here on their own 20. 4:20 to go.
I think one of the oddest stats I have tonight is Shuck only carried the ball 3 times in the first half.
That is weird. You just can't get over that, can you?
No, I can't.
You're stuck on that one.
I know.
So the Lions break the huddle, come back to the line. 3rd and 2 on their own 20. They trail 23-6 with 4:23 to go here in the game. Dean's under center, Moore and Dent in the backfield. And there's the snap to Braxton. He's going to hand off to Logan Dent around the left side, who breaks his way across the 25, and he barrels his way down to the 28-yard line. So that is going to be an 8-yard pickup there for Logan Dent, and that is going to give the Lions a 1st down here. Braxton Dean is getting the play call into the huddle. Waylon Foster on the near side at receiver. Lenny Wynn on the far side.
Just over 4 minutes left here in this ballgame.
Braxton under center, Moore the lone back in the backfield. That's Dent in motion. There's a snap. It's going to be a toss around the right side to Dent. He cuts back across the middle, gets tripped by his own player. He does fall across the 30 down to the 32. So that is going to be a 4-yard pickup there for Logan Dent on 1st down. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6 now for the Lions here. They have the ball on their own 32. Scottsburg is making some substitutions.
I'm honestly surprised there's not more of a tempo out of the Salem offense on this drive. With 3:30 remaining.
They come back to the line. Moore and Dent in the backfield. There's a snap. It's going to be a toss to Dent. It's going to be a reverse to Shockey. That play got blown up immediately by Garrett Bowling. He made the first contact, and the final contact was made by Joshua Tellez. I don't know how to pronounce that first name. That's going to be a 2-yard loss there for Peyton Shockey. That's going to bring up 3rd and 9 now for the Lions on their own 29. No, it was a 3-yard loss, because it was 2nd and 6. Sorry, Zach. Unofficial Zach stats. I'm screwing him up here. Braxton back in gun with Dent on his left. 2 wide to the right for the Lions. That is Waylon Foster and Lenny Wynn. Braxton takes a snap. He fakes the handoff. He looks to throw, and he has nowhere to throw. It's going to be floated up in the air, and it's going to fall to the ground harmlessly at the 35-yard line. Braxton got away with one there. He almost threw an interception and fumbled and took a sack.
When that ball was floated up in the air, I held my breath.
That's scary. That is scary.
It was surrounded by Warriors.
Well, the first person I saw was Garrett Bowling had a bead on that, and if he caught that, he was walking into the end zone.
Yes.
So the Lions punt team comes out to punt, and that is Braxton Dean to punt back deep for the Warriors is going to be number 3, Luke Hamilton. And there's the snap, and the punt is up, and it's a high punt. It's a back skinny punt. It's going to land at the 45 and bounce backwards to the 50 where it's down by Rory Davidson of the Lions. So the Warriors will take over 1st and 10 with 2:35 to go here in the 4th quarter. They will take over at the 50-yard line, and the Lions defense needs a quick stop here. We're going to stay here and thank our sponsors, John Jones Auto Group, McDonald's of Salem, Salem Crossing, Meadowview Healthcare, Washington County Tire, Schneck Hospital.
Also, Papa John's of Salem, Vital Farms, Jason Petmeyer Insurance, Rodney Bruff Insurance, Temple & Temple.
We're always thankful for our sponsors who make what we do here at WSLM Sports Zone 97.9 possible.
They just sent Garrett Bowling to the sidelines.
He hasn't played a lot of offense in the second half. He's been out.
They've had him out wide.
He's been out wide, but for the first, 3 drives, he was on the sideline. So Bird in gun, pistol with Shuck behind him. There's that handoff to Shuck up the middle, who makes his way across the 50, drags the Lions defense down to the 45. It's going to be a 5-yard pickup for Landon Shuck on first down. That is going to bring up a 2nd and 5 now for the Lions here, for the Warriors here on the Lions 45-yard line.
Shuck has now reached 64 yards rushing on 16 attempts.
4 yards per carry.
Yes, sir.
I will assume that the Warriors offense is not going to be in a hurry here. I bet they will run this play clock down.
As we have reached 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter, 23-6, Warriors over the Lions.
There's 10 seconds to go here on the play clock. I bet this is going to be a handoff to Landon Shuck, I had to guess. Bird takes the snap. And guess what? It's a handoff to Landon Shuck around the right side, who gets blown up by Caden Romero on the end immediately. It's going to be a loss of 6 there for Shuck. And that's going to put the Warriors' offense back on their own side of the field at the 49-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 11 now for the Warriors. We've got 1:30 to go here. And at this point, you just want to get a stop just to feel good.
Yeah, that's all it's going to amount to. Right now, I have Brownstown over New Albany, 56-0.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Charlestown over Madison, 34-7. Floyd Central over Silver Creek, 51-7. Gordon up over North Harrison still, 32-29.
So Scottsburg is going to take a timeout, and so will we with 1:04 to go here. We will be back after a short commercial break.
Drew and Johnson Scott here to tell you that American Family Insurance is committed to protecting your dream home so that your family has a place to share laughs, celebrations, and milestones, which is why their new homeowner discount rewards customers who have purchased a new home in the last 3 years with a discount on their homeowner's policy. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Contact Rodney Bruff, agent at Rodney S. Bruff Agency Incorporated at 812-277-1400 today.
Discount and savings amounts and eligibility will vary. Some restrictions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, its operating company, 6,000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin. Products not available in every state.
And we are back here at Jim Ralston Field at Pauley Graves Athletic Stadium. 1:04 remaining in this ball game where the Warriors are up over the Lions 23-6. There was just a timeout by the Scottsburg offense. They are taking the field. Brandon, I think we're just going to see time burned off the clock here.
Yeah, it looks like the Salem coaches have removed their headsets, which is kind of a white flag surrender move. So the offense comes to the line for the Warriors, 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. Bird in pistol, Shuck behind him. There's a snap. It's going to be a handoff to Shuck around the left side. And he's going to cut up the middle. He gets chased down from behind. I think that's Caden Romero, and it is. He is going to pick up about 8 yards there, so it's going to bring up a 4th and 3. They do have to run one more play here, and I'm assuming they'll probably just go for this. 4th and 3 on the Lions 43 here for the Warriors. Bird is waiting for the play call from Coach Mullins on the sideline. Coach Mullins may let this thing run down, and they might just take another timeout. They've got 2 left, is that correct?
Yes, both teams have 2 timeouts.
Okay.
So with this, it will move Scottsburg to 3-0 and Salem to 1-2.
And that's exactly what happened. The Warriors took a timeout with 16.8 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. We're just going to stay here because I'm sure they will be back quickly. But, yes, it does put the Lions to 1-2, puts the Scottsburg Warriors to 3-0. And I don't know that anybody on that sideline is surprised that they are 3-0.
It is a good Scottsburg team. They have made tremendous strides in the last, I'm going to say the
4 years.
11 years, but really it's been the last 4 years.
Yeah. You know, they started getting good about, 3 years ago?
Yes, and I think I will credit that. They have gotten to the point now where they're starting to get a program rolling.
Here's what I will say. and I hate to be the bearer of bad news for anybody who's a Scottsburg fan, I think this is the last year for them. The reason I say that is because they only have 7 seventh graders. Really? So I think their program is kind of on their downward spiral. But I think, Nathan Bird, Landon Shuck, Garrett Bowling as seniors, they've all done really well the last 4 years with this program. But for the moment, Bird is in pistol, 3 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. Bird's going to take the snap. He drops back to throw, and it's going to be a screen pass to Landon Shuck, and it got blown up by Dylan Walters immediately at the line of scrimmage. That is going to be a 1-yard gain for the Warriors. Going to stop the clock with 9.8 seconds to go here. The Lions will take over 1st and 10. I believe they will probably just take a knee, if I had to guess, get this game over with. So the Lions tonight will fall to the Scottsburg Warriors 23-6 here at Jim Ralston Field. But yes, Zach, to kind of keep talking about what we were talking about, I think this might be it for them.
I don't think it's going to be a dramatic drop-off, but I think it'll be a gradual.
I think, they're losing. Let's see what happens here. Braxton's under center. He takes a snap, toss around the left side to Logan Dent, who breaks the tackle in the backfield. He's down the left sideline, and he is going to be stopped. And that is where the clock will run over. So it was a 8-yard pickup there for Logan Dent on the last play of the game. But to continue what we were talking about, I think they're losing probably their 3 best players after this year. They do have a lot of seniors on this team. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They've got 11 seniors they're losing after this year. 3 of those obviously being the quarterback, the running back, Garrett Bowling, their tight end / receiver / linebacker. They're also losing receiver Matthew Wicke after this year. But, I hope for Scottsburg that their program stays where it's at. But when your 7th grade only has 7 kids, that's not looking bright for the future.
Yes, when you're losing more than what you're gaining, that's never a good thing in a football program.
That kid just did a backflip, and that was kind of cool because he's their DN.
Anyways, here we will take a commercial break. We'll be back to the Zach Stats in our postgame show.
One thing is consistent. Things change. A lot can happen in a year, and usually does. Things change. When they do, your insurance policy should too. Talk to Jason Petmeyer at Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Call 812-883-2995 or visit infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
And we are back here for the unofficial Zach Stats of the game. And, Zach, what you got for us?
All right, we'll start with the Lions here tonight. Of course, the lead man for the Lions week in and week out tends to be Logan Dent, and it is, once again, 21 carries for 81 yards, 3.9 a carry. And then we have here Braxton Dean, who had to come in at quarterback for the injured Ethan Campbell, had 32 yards on 9 attempts. Karis Moore, 11 attempts for 22 yards. And Peyton Shockey had 7 yards on 6 attempts. And then going to the passing stats, Braxton went 3 for 6, which easy math is 50%, for 48 yards. Over on the Scottsburg side of things, Shuck was the lead carrier, which Brandon and I both expected. 18 attempts for 66 yards, 3.7 a carry. The quarterback, Bird, had 9 attempts for 41 yards. And in the passing side of things, he went 6 for 10 passing for, 107 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Penalties was kind of the tail of the game, wouldn't you say, Brandon?
There was a lot on both teams.
Salem had 8 penalties for 70 yards, and Scottsburg had 8 penalties for 100 yards. That's almost 200 yards in penalties. That's a lot of penalties in one night, Brandon.
Yeah, that's just, it's one of these games where the refs called everything they saw. And at that point, you just got to clean it up. I mean, that's pretty much the best thing you can say about it.
Right. I will credit Salem tonight. We did a good job improving last year from this year on defending the pass and getting the rush on pass plays. That is something last year we struggled with tremendously. You know, like you said in the pregame show, we were giving them 10, 15 seconds back there in the pocket to throw. And I forget what he threw.
342.
Yeah, he threw for 342 yards
touchdowns.
And 5 touchdowns on us last year.
18 for 23. I looked at it today.
That's just insane numbers. So even though we lost, I think that was a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and you know, one thing I was talking about with the guys at school today is, yes, he threw for 342. Our secondary looked rough, and it's not an exaggeration when we say he had 10 to 15 seconds.
It was a literal.
He had legitimately 10 to 15 seconds on every pass play. But we did have a lot of secondary injuries last year in this game.
Waylon Foster was one.
Yeah, Waylon Foster was one. We had Logan Dent playing safety. We had Adam Mole out. We had, I think, I can't remember who all was out, but we had a bunch of kids out. But, I mean, there's not a whole lot I have left to say tonight, unless you do.
Really, I think in the second half, after that intentional grounding for a safety, you could just tell by the language on the field, the mentality just changed for these Salem players.
Yeah, that was kind of the flip in momentum. We had a little bit of momentum after forcing 2 turnovers. Unfortunately, one of those turnovers ended up putting us in a safety, but we just couldn't do too much after that. But really, I don't have a lot to say. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Zach, do you have anything else?
Yes, you will be listening to me next week at Blevins Stadium.
Is that what that's called?
Yes, sir.
I would have never known that.
At Blevins Stadium over in Brownstown. Brandon has some stuff going on next week.
There's an IU game at home next week. Zoe and I have season tickets. We will be out of town. We did not expect there to be a Friday football game when we bought those season tickets. However, IU plays Indiana State at home next week. So we will be off at that. Zach will be the voice of WSLM next week.
As the Salem Lions take on the Brownstown Braves.
Brownstown, yep.
I'll get you a quick score.
That's going to be a tough matchup for the Lions.
It is. It's one game, I think, as a Salem Lions player, you circle on your calendar. Well, really, any team circles on their calendar. You know, we got Brownstown this week.
I don't want to write it off too early, but I think that's just when you go compete and keep players from getting injured.
You know, they just shut out New Albany tonight. First time I can recall they played New Albany.
Yeah, and we've seen
56-0 on New Albany.
We've seen a lot of good Brownstown teams. I don't know that we've seen one this good yet.
I believe, don't hold me to this, I'll have the stats for you next week. I heard Brownstown has 22 seniors this year.
I've heard 22 and I've heard 19.
And I heard they have 7 seniors that are 4-year starters.
Which is crazy, because if you guys are familiar with Brownstown football, freshmen don't start. And if they've got...
Especially at Brownstown.
Yeah, they've got 7 of them that are starting as freshmen. That's very impressive. So it'll be interesting to see. That Brownstown team is very good this year. They've put up already 189 points this year in 3 games. They're averaging 63 points per game. That included 63, 70, and 56. They did trail Charlestown last week 12-0 in the first quarter, and next thing you know, it was 70-25. So a very good Brownstown team up there. But yeah, I will be gone. Zach will be here for it. He's going to have a special co-host with him who you probably won't hear say a single word.
It'll be my brother.
He's going to be a stats guy. It's going to be...
It'll be the Zach Show.
It'll be the Zach Show and Ethan Stats instead of Zach Stats. So,
yeah, if you don't want to make the trip up 135 to Brownstown, you can tune in and listen to me next Friday starting about 6:30 with the pregame show on the Sports Zone 97.9 WSLM. So we'd like to thank our sponsors one more time before we get off here.
Zach read my mind. John Jones Auto Group, McDonald's of Salem, Salem Crossing, Meadowview Healthcare, Washington County Tire, Schneck Hospital.
Also like to thank Papa John's of Salem, Vital Farms, Jason Petmeyer Insurance, Rodney Bruff Insurance, Temple & Temple.
But I think that's it for us tonight. The Lions fall to the Scottsburg Warriors 23-6. But I think that's about all we've got. So Zach will look forward to being on the air with you guys next week. Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for spending your Friday night with us at 97.9 WFLM Sports Zone. But I think that's it, so God bless and have a great week.